is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome into the studios as we get set up to discuss and call tonight's hockey game between the Edmonton Oilers and the Seattle Kraken. Game number 6 of the preseason for the Edmonton Oilers, of course. A very interesting go-round, the first time into the United States in this entire adventure for the Oilers. The only time into the United States for the Edmonton Oilers in this entire time called the preseason. Tonight's game available on Oilers Plus. Seems like on a premium subscription on Sportsnet now you could possibly get it, and as well broadcast publicly regionally in the Seattle, Washington area on Root Sports Northwest. All right, that's your directions where you can find the game this evening, friends. I'm Tyson. Welcome aboard as we once again get set to do this after a few games off. Don't mind me, I just had a very, very, very busy weekend. Quite honestly told, I ended up going out to the mountains in Banff on Friday night. Came back home about 2 o'clock on Saturday. Got into Airdrie, went and checked out the ball tournament happening at the Chinook Winds Ball Diamonds. Proceeded to go to Main Street Beer and Barbecue. Have, just literally a plate of wings and about 3 glasses of Pepsi. And then drive my buddy who had come out to just hang out and have a couple drinks. Drove him home. Proceeded to go out to a wedding reception. Beautiful wedding reception. Town and Country Center is a beautiful little venue for anything, and they really dressed it up nice to make it look good. So again, if that happy couple is watching, congratulations. It was an honor of mine to be part of your night after just kind of happening into it despite knowing about it for a little while. So hey, you know what? Everything works out for a reason, right? And to be honest with that as well, Saturday night, capped it off after going there, went back up to Crossfield, caught up with some of my friends, and kicked off Sunday, which was a fun-filled day of some work, some laughter, and some hockey as the U13 season in the RMAA division gets underway. Okay, that's catching you up with me. Friends, you're here to catch up with the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, the preseason hasn't really been nothing special. That battle for the 12th forward position got much more simple with Brandon Sutter being released from his PO and subsequently retiring yesterday. That was news that came out of nowhere. You would have seen me live from the Carstairs Memorial Arena yesterday broadcasting that to you. So that's where we're at. But of course, as it currently stands, there's still Lavoie, there's still Ernie, there's still... right? You could possibly just go with a guy like Brad Malone. You could possibly go a million and one ways with this lineup. Lane Peterson in there as well. So let's not worry about it too much. Let's see how it plays out tonight as Dylan Holloway and Raphael Lavoie on the same line. Tic-tac-toe, trying to put their odds of making the roster at 100%. To the chat we go. Silo, good evening. Welcome to you as you're going to the Oilers game with Calgary on the 4th. Ah, yes, the Oilers versus the Flames on the 4th. That is Wednesday at home. One of 2 remaining home games in the preseason. One of 2 remaining preseason games for the Edmonton Oilers. I might not have been home at all this weekend, but trust me, I didn't miss a beat. That old X machine, that old, what are you telling me? That capability of watching the game on the Flames stream on Friday night did guys some good. Ty, where can we live stream it again? All right. As we go here again, friends, just to kind of come through with this for where you can watch it, it's on Oilers Plus. Again, tough go, I know. And of course, it's broadcast regionally on Root Sports Northwest in Seattle, Washington's area. So for us Canadian friends, unless you got a Sportsnet Premium account, it just ain't happening again tonight. Again, major factor why I'm live. Try and connect you, try and keep you at least somewhat ease when it comes to it. And yes, you can listen to it live on 6:30 CHED. I don't know if Cam Moon or Jack Michaels have the call tonight, but either or is just as good as the other. I love Cam Moon on the radio. I love Jack Michaels on TV. Don't take anything away from Jack on the radio, but Cam's found his spot. Cam's found a home, and I'm pretty proud to have 2 really good broadcasters bringing us Oilers games on 2 different mediums every single regional night. That is dang special. Obviously, when it comes down to being a regular game, you kind of see Jack Michaels on a nationally televised game going back to 6:30 CHED. All right, so here we go. What are we going? Are the Oilers playing at Rogers Place? No, as Ty notes in the chat, it is in Seattle this evening. That, I believe, is why it's broadcast publicly in the region on Root Sports Northwest. Simply put, they've got a crew there that is capable of doing that. They are unlikely to travel north of the border on Friday night, I believe, which we should be seeing a different live stream. I don't want to tease too much coming out of the YouTube community for that one on Friday night here on the Oilers side of things. All right, so friends, Xander, welcome in as we're getting things fired up for this one. We're about 23 minutes away from the start of the broadcast on Oilers Plus. So we're still a ways away from this actually kicking off. I just really couldn't sit here any longer and stare at the screens and not do anything. So figured I'd hit that go live button and get this going. As we know, looks like tonight Jack Campbell will get the start and Philip Grubauer will get the start for the Seattle Kraken. So far, it's been an embarrassing effort so far for the Edmonton Oilers' offensive production in the preseason. Evan Bouchard leads the points department. I'm sure there's a couple players involved, but he leads the points department right now with 2 points. Adam Ernie being credited with the most goals on the Oilers. There's multiple players with 1 apiece. Evan Bouchard leads the way with 2 assists, and Jack Campbell leading the way with a win so far in these preseason games. So we're looking forward to hopefully seeing the Oilers go out there and do something. Just to give you a team stats-wise through 5 games in the preseason for the Edmonton Oilers, 1.4 goals for per game, 2.60 goals against per game. Which number seems like it's too unrealistic, and which number seems like, hey, we actually are making progress here? I'll tell you the 1.4 goals against average. If we go the preseason under 2 goals per game, I would not be surprised to watch us light up the Vancouver Canucks 8-1 in the season opener in Vancouver. That's the way the Oilers offense works, and hopefully they're saving the best for go time. And obviously that 2.60 goals against per game, that's fantastic to see. I mean, big kudos to every single goaltender we have in the system so far in these training camp games, because hats off to them. They've been at least making these games somewhat watchable throughout all of it. I know we've had a couple 5-goal losses, but again, if the average is 2.6 all year, I'm going to be okay with that. As we get going, friends, welcome into the chat. Thank you so much for being aboard. Glad to have you in as we're getting through the pregame edition of this live stream. Obviously, we have plenty of time to go until 8 o'clock, 8:10 when this thing kicks off. But again, this is maybe me securing myself a little bit more in terms of minutes streamed tonight because it's an 8 o'clock game. Am I really going to have to get up and go at about 9:30, 10 o'clock when this game gets slow? If it does, who knows? Let's find out. And as we go here, Silo, do I like Tony Brar? I actually really do enjoy Tony Brar. He's done fantastic things on Oilers TV. He's been a constant, steady face there for a while now. Great dude. I've heard lots of great things about him just kind of in the sphere I'm in the radio and TV industry back when he was going through school, and I had gone through school just before him at Nate. And basically, I got to meet him last home opener, and it was really cool to say, hey, man, I missed you just by that much, Nate, but congratulations on everything you've achieved so far, and really nifty to see where you are. So hopefully get a run into him again at the home opener again this season, shake his hand, say, hey, have another good season, and we'll catch you soon. He's played friendly on Twitter, and I think he's a stand-up dude from everything I can tell. That's my honest opinion, and I'm not really straying away from that. I think the Oilers have a really good crew of broadcasters right now, and I'm just lucky to be a part of it the way you guys allow me to be here on YouTube day in, day out. So, Darcy, as we go, how many of the regulars are playing tonight? To Bob Stauffer's X account we go. Bob, where you at? Get over here. Let's go down here a little bit. Today he asked Raphael Lavoie if there was a player he could pattern his game after. Raphael Lavoie's response, Josh Anderson. Of course, we know how much Bob Stauffer loves Josh Anderson, and so too do I and fellow Oilers fans. The Edmonton Oilers in Seattle, according to Bob Stauffer, with Jack Campbell starting and Calvin Pickard backing up. Friends, let's get the graphic up here and get this going, because you know it, we need to get that done as we will go into pictures. And let's go here and find out what we can down here to this, and bing, bang, boom. We're going to flash the graphic up here. I'm going to move on over just a little bit, and we're going to read this lineup for you. Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl, big boys up top. That's by design, because you look at this, Holloway, Ryan, Janmark. That's the plan. Ernie, Hamblin, Lavoie. So sorry, I said it was Holloway and Lavoie trading shots. It's Ernie and Lavoie trading shots. And you got a third wheel on there doing the exact same thing in James Hamblin, who, guys, keep watching him this camp. He actually might have a sneaky good shot to either be the first call-up to the NHL this year, or if Lavoie has some kind of moving on situation, James Hamblin might be your 12th forward to start, to be honest with you. I have mused also about Brad Malone, who's centering the fourth line. Seth Griffith and Xavier Bargot get the job going. Obviously, you'll see what those guys have in store. The bottom 9 forwards are the most intriguing to watch. You'll watch Hyman, McDavid, and Draisaitl toy at times with the opposing lineup, despite being a very veteran presence out there for the Seattle Kraken, featuring heavily ex-Edmonton Oilers. Kulak, Ceci, Gleason, Broberg, Dineen, and Kemp. So this is the last time you will see, more than likely, Cam Dineen, Philip Kemp. Ben Gleason will probably stick around until the last day of training camp, that I assume, just in case there's an injury. And obviously you see 3 lineup regulars up there for the Oilers. Jack Campbell starts in the net. Okay. Not so good on my words so far, but we'll be okay. We'll manage. Let's go back to the chat here as we go to Riley. I thought the game was starting at 7. It says the Oilers Plus stream is starting at 7:30. 7 p.m. Pacific time. We're out in Seattle this evening, which, of course, the old adage, you get caught up on that Vancouver game. Well, now you do it twice over with Seattle. You see 7, you assume 7, because, hey, that makes sense, right? When Sportsnet advertises it in our time region, 7 is our start time. Well, problem with those Pacific Division games out on the West Coast, I know in LA, Anaheim, San Jose, we've been used to it for years. For some reason, we're still used to it with Vancouver, and I get tripped up all the time thinking it's at 7 p.m. Mountain and it's 7 p.m. Pacific, but now you add in Seattle, and we're not quite thinking it through fully because, right, it's Seattle, we're not fully adjusted, and, right, exactly, I'm right there with you, Riley. I'm not too far advanced in this in terms of, I saw 7 tonight, and I'm like, I saw it last night, and I'm like scheduling the stream for 6:15, and then all of a sudden I'm like, no, it's 8 o'clock, isn't it? It's on the coast. It's 8. So I had to go check the Sportsnet app at, I think, 6:50 this morning as I'm doing this, and I'm like, okay, I am crazy. It's 8 p.m. So let's go. But that's where we're at so far. So obviously you're an Oilers fan. That's why you're here. I like it. And Colt 89, the Oilers versus the Oilers, the ex-Oilers, I guess you could say. Yeah, that Seattle Kraken lineup, if I can find it for you, is very heavily laden with former Edmonton Oilers. I believe Schultz, Everly, Shore, Yamamoto, and there's one more. Everly's in there. I've already said that, in the Oilers or in the Kraken lineup this evening. So, yeah, exactly, really, right? That's to the point. Is it's just, I mean, I'm always baffled every time when I see 7. I'm thinking 7 Mountain because they're always advertising 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain. All of a sudden, you get 9 Eastern, 7 Pacific, and brain just doesn't function and do the math right. And it's all of a sudden I'm rushing home after work, and meanwhile it doesn't start till 8 o'clock. I don't have to start the stream till 7:15. Either way, Darcy, with Gleason playing as good as he is, do you think Broberg or one of the other D-men is going bye-bye? No, 100%. Ben Gleason is not here to steal a job. That is not what Ben Gleason is here to do. Ben Gleason is here to be a steady Eddie kind of guy down there on the farm, your first call-up kind of deal. A guy who signed early in free agency basically to secure his spot within an organization. I think what you're missing there is what happens with Marcus Niemelainen. Because if you lose Niemelainen on waivers or you trade him in a clean cost and type deal from last year, Ben Gleason becomes that 8th defenseman. And that's where his value is. And I'm glad he's proved it, because obviously there's going to be a hard decision to be made here with Marcus Niemelainen that is yet to be made from the Edmonton Oilers. So we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. And Mr. Sir, Larson, Adam Larson. Yeah, that would figure. I forget I forget the one defenseman that never really seemed to live up to potential. 1-for-1, I wonder why. But again, right, it's one of those tough things is those Seattle Krakens have taken a lot of our Edmonton Oilers players over the years. But again, everybody chased Eberle out of town. Everybody chased Kyler Yamamoto out of town. Nobody really gave a dang about Devin Shore. He's a great guy, but again, nobody really liked his game anyway. Who else? Justin Schultz chased him out of town. Adam Larson. Love him, hate him, but he was never as good as Taylor Hall, technically speaking, so hate him. And, right, it's just tough. I mean, like, this is not like we lost Connor McDavid to the Seattle Kraken by any means, although I would love to see Jordan Eberle back in a uniform of the Oilers at some point, whether it looked like that one, and that one, because, hey, you know what? A little nostalgia, just like we're on the trip with, of course, Sam Gagner right now. Magic, welcome in. Glad to have you aboard. Another season fires up and away we go, right? That's the big thing. It's now 23-24. Magic's been around, I think, since Time Eternal back in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So a couple of you have been in the chat for a long dang time, and we're going on a ride again here in 23-24. And that's starting to scare me how long I've been doing this. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. All right. Let's go here. Magic, to your point, that's a good one actually as well. If you're not helping the team, you're hurting the team, get out. That's generally how it works out. And I think that's kind of, I had a good conversation with Patrick from the Oilers Fanatic this evening, talking about Klim Kostin. Yeah, I mean, why are we still talking about him? But you look at it, the Oilers are going to ultimately have a guy this season that plays the minutes that Klim Kostin did. Kostin got 6:30 to 9:15 game in, game out. He was never a 10-minute averager. Big night if he did, or there was an injury. And I think what Patrick boiled that down to is the coaches just didn't trust Klim Kostin. They loved his game, but there was too many faults in his game to trust him fully with bigger minutes. And ultimately, somebody's going to be in that situation this year. But I wonder how much of the 11-7 is going to factor into that if you have Holloway and Lavoie in the lineup, because now who gets those lesser minutes, and suddenly do you have Matthias Janmark playing 3 minutes of even strength time, 5 minutes penalty kill time, and that's his 8 minutes a night? I don't know. Again, $1 million on Janmark to do that seems expensive, but ultimately too, if you move on Fogle at some point to get a D-man, cool, we're probably actually not worrying about it too much at the deadline. Who knows? But yeah. And Magic, that's the thing. It's growing into something quite substantial here. I mean, friends, for those of you tuning in for the first time or the second time or sometime within the past year, what you've seen happen here on Dolynny TV is I slugged it out from 18-19 to just into March of 21, kind of covering the Oilers here on YouTube. Then I gave up for a year and a half, and now we're back, obviously, last year, 22-23, and now back to this 23-24. But I think from 18-19 to 21, I gained a grand total of just over, I want to say 2,000 subscribers. It was nothing super crazy. And a lot of it had to do with me, a person, and me, a presenter, and me, everything. It was a lot to do with me. I will take the full ownership for my own lack of growth. But what I found last year is, came back, there was some apprehension from some folks, and that's completely fine. I know who I was, I know what I did, and now coming back and being the version of myself I am today, it's been a definite sign of why things have changed so much on the channel. Walked in with just under 8,500 subscribers last fall, and now we're sitting over 12,600. So you think about it, in the span of a year, 4,100 subscribers, almost 50% growth, as opposed to 2,000 in the first 3.5-4 years. It's pretty crazy to think. And again, I have all you to thank for giving me a second chance and letting me come back here and have some fun with Patrick and all the other guys now doing Oilers stuff, and obviously continue to grow this whole community we have. As I said, we've got a long pregame ahead of us, so we got time to chat about a whole bunch of things. I'm excited to do that. It's been a long time, obviously, since last week since we got a chance to chat live, so keep that going. Tom, good evening to you as well. Season is right around the corner. I am very excited, as you are. I'm going to be yelling that exact line, "Let's go, baby," at Rogers Place several times on October 14th. I can tell you that much. That's a go-to line usually when something pretty exciting happens. And as Patrick and I formalize the plans for the day at Rogers Place on the 14th, let me tell you, it's going to be a special one. Obviously, I think Ice District is going to have a whole bunch of fun stuff going on, so we'll have you covered right from every angle, and hopefully a really good start to the season with the Oilers, hopefully winning the home opener and the regular season opener, right? That wouldn't be a bad time at all. All right, as we go here, friends, just to calculate this out one more time, I just need to take a look here. And looks like we are already up over 8.5 hours watched on the stream. So we are starting off rather tame, right? But it's also 7:22, not 7:45. So I know what we're expecting, and I'm appreciating you guys just hanging out here chatting with me. That's awesome that all of you are spending your time this early with me. That's not what I expected to kick off a live stream that I kind of started even 10 minutes earlier than I should have. But again, tonight, like I said, this game's publicly broadcast in the Root Sports Northwest territory in Seattle, Washington. So that's going to be publicly available in the Pacific Northwest. So again, tonight, I don't know if we're going to see too many Kraken fans come stop by. Again, if you're a Kraken fan, you're stopping by because you can't watch Root Sports Northwest. Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate you being along for the ride. I think as well it's available on ESPN+. So there's a couple angles to how this is all going to play out. And secondarily as well, I think it's available on the premium subscription on Sportsnet Plus. And other than that, it's Oilers Plus for whatever, $8.99 a month or whatever it is. And if that's not going to satisfy you, there's 6:30 Ched with the boys from Oilers Radio Network, which you know is always a good time. And if you want a visual medium just to see somebody reacting to the game, that's where I come in. So we got ourselves wall-to-wall coverage of this one, even though it really doesn't feel like it, and it's really not wall-to-wall coverage by any means. But we'll have a good time, and we'll sit back and relax, enjoy a hockey game, drink some water, and get through this one tonight. Your starting goaltenders, if you're just tuning in, Philip Grubauer and Jack Campbell. So look for a pretty regular game, right? Probably a low-scoring affair through the first period unless things go wonky. But again, Jack Campbell's had a pretty good start to the preseason. Philip Grubauer, you always know he's got the game where he can goalie in him, so not a big concern. Again, the Oilers, though, only scoring less than 1.5 goals per game in the preseason and giving up just over 2.5. So tonight I wonder if this is one of those that turns the tide a little bit. The Oilers offense explodes, and finally happy days, right? We go off and start this preseason back half grind that we're in the last 3 games with the way the offense should roll. The lineup, though, as you see, is not necessarily indicative of that happening. You look at it here: Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl, Holloway, Ryan, Janmark, Ernie, Hamblin, Lavoie, Griffith, Malone, Bourgault, and then you've got Kulak, Ceci, Gleason, Broberg, Dineen, Kemp, Campbell, and net. You look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere on that third line. Somewhere on that third line, there's a 7th regular, 8, 9, Kulak, Ceci, 10, Broberg, 11, Campbell. So out of the 20 skaters you iced tonight, you've got more than half of them are NHL regulars come the season opener. Again, that I don't know if that necessarily means all season long. Like we saw last season, Brad Malone started at the NHL level for the Oilers due to the LTIR usage. So stay tuned. We'll find out what happens. But I assume one of those guys in the bottom 6 are the parties that are going to be the 12th forward this year, with Brandon Sutter subsequently retiring following his release from his PTO with the Oilers yesterday. So stay tuned. That's what you're looking for. The bottom 9 forwards in the lineup tonight is what matters this evening. Do I expect a trade before the season starts so we don't lose a player for nothing? Darcy, I do. I expect it to be Marcus Niemelainen because I believe that Raphael Lavoie is 100% going to make this team. Again, it seems educated at this point now that you know you don't have to sign Brandon Sutter, and you know that Sam Gagner is going to the minors. You can probably stick Adam Ernie in the minors and make him the first call-up in case of injury. There's a million and one ways you can slice it, but I don't see the Oilers saying, hey, Adam Ernie's the guy we want over a guy we've spent all this time developing, and we're just going to turf him on waivers or trade him. I assume Marcus Niemelainen, though, because of the waiver threat and his organizational depth chart position at number 8, too valuable to lose for nothing. But unfortunately, it's probably unrealistic to keep him if you pass him through waivers. So we'll see where that heads, but that's kind of my thinking on that. And I think a nice little twist on the season would be Campbell taking over the starting goaltender position. Magic, I will tell you how I play this, is exact same thing as last year. You give Campbell all the rope he needs to run with, right? You say, hey, starting position is yours. You came into the playoffs. You were fantastic. Obviously, he lit up his first start of the preseason. Show us what you got. We know we've got another capable guy. If you get into trouble, we'll give you 3 games off, give you another 4 in a row or whatever, 3 in a row. And then if we really don't have anything in you 20 games into the season, same as last year, Stuart Skinner to the rescue until he falters bad enough for Jack Campbell to go on a 9-game winning streak. There's no other reason to do it otherwise. I know Stuart Skinner is quote-unquote the starting goalie. I think that's more of a fan dictation than a coaching dictation. And obviously, I'd love to see Jack Campbell be given the rope to run, say, go, do your thing. If he succeeds, hey, we knew we had it. If he fails, okay, now what, right? And that's what we were looking at last year. Thankfully, we had Skinner. If he fails again through 20 games this year, now we're talking about trading for a goaltender at the trade deadline. That's kind of how you have to play it, I think. And Tom, and your question, is Sam Gagner going to the minors because of his hip, or is he looking like he's not making the team this year? It's his hip. So Sam Gagner is still in month 5, technically would be entering month 6 of rehab turn of next week, I think, if I've got the dates memorized in my head, which I don't. But he'll be going into month 6 of rehab right away here. And what that means to us is he's still about 3-4 weeks away. So I assume he'll ride out training camp with us up here in Edmonton Oilers land, go enjoy Bakersfield Condors training camp, sign an ATO with the Oilers, and then kind of roll on like Jason Demers did through the first month so of the season. We'll make another determination when his ATO is up if he's fit and healthy and he's feeling good, sign him to a contract. And then obviously if Lavoie's not panning out, if for some reason we have an injury, whatever the case might be, that's when you bring up, of course, Mr. Sam Gagner and bring him back to the NHL with the Edmonton Oilers for a third go-round. It's that simple, I think. At least I hope it is. And I assume that's kind of what the plan is, with his hip still being 4 weeks or so away from game shape. So, again, remains to be seen. And if it's going to take you that many months to rehab a hip injury, I don't know what your durability over the course of the season is going to be. And that's kind of what we saw from one said Brandon Sutter. So Sam Gagner has been on the retirement doorstep a couple of times here over the past 3-4 years. And I would not be surprised to see that being a heavy conversation he has, whether it be a month into the season with himself or some point here in the next few months with the Edmonton Oilers after playing some time in Bakersfield, or if he fully heals up and he's in good shape and he comes up and helps us out on a playoff run. Who knows what happens here? Sam's kind of a weird one, I'll tell you that much. He's bounced back and forth and up and down and all around, and never count him out. That's what we've learned so far. So, yes, when it comes down to it, Magic, as you say as well, it'll be nice to have somebody like Sam Gagner kicking around the organization to be able to boot him up and bring him up to the NHL. The stream on Oilers Plus has just started. So we are underway here in Washington now. Seattle getting their broadcast feed started so the Oilers can kick things off on Oilers Plus this evening. It looks like I'm stuck on the loading ring. Let's go play this. For some reason, it's still saying it's not live. So I'm going to reload this one more time. And for some reason, still not coming live. Okay, what's going on here? Recap, full game. Scroll down. There we go. 7:30. Good. Let's do this. And it's still not playing. So, I mean, it could still be a few minutes away. That's fine. No big concern there. But hopefully the Oilers get their stream figured out, or else we are all really hooped with this one this evening. But again, as we get going, friends, thank you so much for hanging out on the early side of the pregame show. We still have the back side of the pregame show, the half hour before 8 o'clock to come. So we'll see what that translates up to for us. But I am getting a little concerned with what's happening here with this Oilers Plus stream. What's going on here, friends? It looks like they've still got it scheduled to go live. It's an upcoming live stream. It's not an actual live stream yet. So I just wonder if they're having connection issues with the pregame show, or if there's something in Seattle kind of holding things up right now. I guess we'll see in a matter of a few moments. But as we go again, friends, just to flash that lineup to you as we get going underway here in a few moments. Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl, Holloway, Ryan, Janmark, Ernie, Hamlin, Lavoie. And then you've got Griffith and Malone, Bourgault. Kulak, Ceci, Gleason, Broberg, and Dineen and Kemp are your defensemen. Campbell gets the start for the Edmonton Oilers this evening. Keep that in mind as we continue to wait for this live stream to get underway here in a matter of a few moments. Obviously, as we do go through this as well, it'll be interesting to kind of see what the Oilers' bottom 9 forwards bring to the table. I expect McDavid, expect Draisaitl, expect Hyman to be able to toy with the opposition tonight. But again, too, I wonder if we get Philip Broberg on the number 1 power play unit this evening, just to kind of test out what he's capable of at that level for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll see. Obviously, time will tell. You've got probably Holloway up there or Lavoie up there on the main power play unit as well, and we'll see kind of how that all translates out throughout the game, depending on how many power plays the Edmonton Oilers get this evening. So still titled as an upcoming live stream for the Edmonton Oilers. So this is where it's kind of rough right now. We're just waiting for this to get underway, and they've got it still upcoming. So we're still blocked out for right now, but we'll make do, and we'll get somewhere here in a matter of moments, friends. Don't you worry, as we've got a few minutes to go before things kick off. Do we still have our draft picks to start the season? Not a lot of them, actually. We're kind of hurting in the draft pick department again. We've got our first rounder, so that's a plus, but I believe we're missing a few in the mid rounds. So again, it's going to be one of those tough years where you probably sell the first round pick for another addition on the defense, whether that be Brett Pesce or whoever, but we'll kind of see what ends up happening here for the Edmonton Oilers towards the trade deadline. Jamie, good evening to you as you joined the chat as well. And McToads, good evening as well, as we're seeing a couple more people trickle in this evening as we're just kind of creeping up here on the stream. And of course, waiting for this Edmonton Oilers Plus stream to go live. This is the first one that hasn't gone live right out of the gate, so I'm a little confused at what's happening here. But again, I guess we'll wait it out and see if Oilers Plus is just having some troubles or what. Yeah, so it's still scheduled as an upcoming live stream. Looks like it's just doing its thing. So we'll chill out. We got 7:34. I don't think the stream went live until 7:35 last game we did. So again, I don't think we have too much to worry about this evening. Again, friends, though, as we take a moment here, you've spent some sizable time with me here to start this pregame show. I'll tell you that much. And as we just take a look at the watch time so far through things, we're up over 15 hours watched, so we should be on our way to a pretty successful start of the live stream and a pretty successful night here on Dolynny TV as we get this game underway at some point around 8 o'clock, and we should be rocking for what should be a good matchup between both the Oilers and the Seattle Kraken. Again, a reminder, friends, if you are new to the channel and you've been hanging out with me so far through the pregame, this is my first kind of natural chance to do it, so we'll do it right now. If you would be so kind to consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV, that would be greatly appreciated. Entering action tonight, 12,680 subscribers, and already up to 12,683. So what I'm assuming is if things go according to plan here between tonight and on Wednesday against the Flames, there is an opportunity for me to be able to break over 13,000 if all things go according to plan. So that would be a pretty little special milestone to hit live on the channel Wednesday night, and then of course not streaming on Friday due to having some folks in town for Thanksgiving. So again, preseason, you can kind of miss that. Sucks too, but it is what it is, and we'll make the best of it as we go along, friends. Okay, we're just waiting for this live stream again to get underway. This is kind of the brutal nature of it. Hopefully not missing anything here. That's kind of the hope, and then we should be good. But it's only 7:36, so kick back, relax, rewind, and we'll be just fine. We'll see what the old X machine is saying. If there's a problem with if there's a problem with, of course, the Oilers Plus live stream. And as we look to see this, is there anything here? I don't think there is. Following exhibition win tonight, Ottawa announced some cuts. Most interesting development, Jacob Bernard Docker and Igor Sokolov on waivers. So, excuse me what, but I think the Oilers might be looking at Jacob Bernard Docker as the guy to grab off of waivers, or Igor Sokolov, as Sokolov is placed on waivers, and so is Bernard Docker, Larson and Highmore as well. So interesting to see that happening near camp time. And as we see in this, I don't think there's anything here, as nothing much to really be voiced on this Oilers stream as of yet. Looks like we aren't missing anything. Obviously this is all from 15 minutes ago, so yeah, we should be fine and dandy here to get underway in a few minutes time. Let's see what we got. Anything else here? Don't see it. Oilers versus Kraken soon at 2:23. You can watch the last 3 preseason games tonight and Friday versus Seattle, as well as Wednesday, with a free month trial of Oilers Plus. So we'll see what happens here if we get this going. Stream isn't loading. Yeah, there we go. Okay, sure. Other folks back home are dealing with the same issue as we are. That's good. As we get going, friends, welcome aboard. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. If you're just tuning in, we've gone through 30 minutes of pregame so far on the channel. We've covered the lines. We'll cover that in a matter of a moment. But as we get going, Chris, I will answer that in just a few seconds' time. I think we should... Magic, that's the biggest fear every YouTuber has. Gets close to a goal and there everybody hits that button the other way. Chris, yes, to the lineup question. Friends, let's do that again. My apologies. I'm distracting myself. Here's your Oilers lineup in Seattle this evening. You've got Hyman. You've got McDavid, Draisaitl on the top line. This is by design. Obviously, you look at this come out and it's like, man, why is Draisaitl and McDavid playing together with Hyman? Like, wouldn't you want to spread out Draisaitl and McDavid so as maybe Holloway and Lavoie could play with one of the big boys, or maybe give Ernie a look next to Draisaitl, or whatever the case might be, right? You maybe give Janmark a game with Draisaitl just to see if there's a little bit of chemistry to be had there on a second line option, right? Other than that, you don't really see anything, but it distorts the results. That's what I've read today. I think it was the Edmonton Journal's Cult of Hockey team that was really heavy on, you don't want to distort the results for these young guys this year. You know they're not going to play with McDavid and Draisaitl. You know they're going to be in the bottom 6, whether it be on the 3rd line, 4th line rotation, whatever the case might be. So you want to give them a genuine experience in the lineup where they're playing with teammates they might play with and playing in combinations that are likely to happen throughout the first 20-25 games of the season as they work their way up the lineup as a prospect progresses. So that's why tonight you see Holloway with Ryan and Janmark, and that's why you see a veteran like Ernie playing alongside Hamblin, who's had some NHL time, and Lavoie, who's trying to bust through, right? Is obviously, you'd expect Lavoie to be the offensive driver on that line. You'd expect James Hamblin to be James Hamblin, and you'd expect Adam Ernie to be the counter to Lavoie on that line and trying to outperform him to earn a contract because he's on a PTO. So that's how that plays out. The 4th line, you got ice, 12 guys up front in training camp, so that's where they belong. Obviously, Malone, we've talked about him, but I doubt anything substantial happens there. Kulak, Ceci, Gleason, Broberg, Deneen, Kemp. Again, keep the big boys out until you need to get them into game shape a few days ahead of time. That's what we're saying. So that's your lineup again tonight. Jack Campbell does indeed get the start as well, by the way. So that is where we are at. Things getting underway. All right, as we go, Soup, yes, is underway. And Craig, you're saying the event has ended on Oilers Plus. Yeah, no, I think the Oilers have goofed up this live stream on Oilers Plus a little bit here, so we'll see what ends up happening here for this one. But again, we're just watching it roll through, and hopefully going to be something here in a matter of moments. And then as well, The Habs pull a comeback. Now the Oilers just win preseason, but things getting heated up. Yes, that's the big thing, is the Oilers are hopefully going to heat up down the stretch here in the preseason, these last 3 games. The Habs and the Leafs and the Senators, they've all been talking points throughout the preseason, just talking about the Senators a moment ago. And as we get things going, we should be closer to the real lineup here by Game 7, Game 8 of the preseason. And yes, as many of you are probably aware, Oilers Plus is down, not working, and for some reason, I'm still sitting here talking about it. Vanthan, welcome in again from Cambodia. Good morning to you, as I know I've got some friends on that side of the world, and things are obviously just getting underway over there, overseas on the Pacific side. And as we go here, what do we got? Wilner. Campbell has never been a consistent goaltender, which is why he's on his 4th team. What is this in reference to? I think when it comes down to it, Wilner, I think you're going to see Jack Campbell have quite a few good stretches this season. I think there's been a lot of work put in by Jack Campbell to figure out why he's not a consistent goaltender, why he has good stretches, why he has bad stretches, and that was his work, not actual physical work, just kind of the management side of how his game develops. So I'm excited to see what happens for Jack Campbell this year. Again, if he sucks this year, turf him. Sure, I'm good with that. But again, you got to give the guy a chance. You signed him on a 5-year contract, and if the Oilers were going to move him last year, they would have done it. So that's where I think we're good to give him another chance here this year. Yeah, no, exactly. That's my point too, Magic. It's due for a positive streak, and I think he's put the work in to earn a positive streak here this season. Alan, do we know about the special team lineups? Is the PP going to rock? I assume it's going to be McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Broberg on the point, quarterbacking or being your defenseman out there, whatever you want to say. And then as well from there, also probably Holloway, Lavoie swapping in and out as the big boys run show for 2 minutes on the ice. So that's where we're at. But again, we're also waiting for this Oilers Plus stream to get underway. For some reason, they're struggling to load it in. So this is an interesting failure of sorts for Oilers Plus already out of the gate. They've been pretty good throughout the preseason, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But for some reason, this Oilers Plus stream is really struggling to get underway here this evening. It is now 7:43. Panic is now kind of starting to set into my mind a little bit, because if the game is unavailable, that is going to be a problem. Yeah, this is kind of the issue. Yeah. Let's go quickly check this out. Is there anything here? I don't think there is. All right. Let's go to the situation and see if there's anything here. Is there anything here? No, there's nothing. Nothing. Communication from the Edmonton Oilers on what's going on with this live stream this evening, friends. So you're as in the dark as I am right now. This is not a good, comfortable place to be, that's for sure. Obviously, being 16 minutes away from game time without a live stream is never a good time. And Wilner, to your comment there, what team do I think is going to take a step back? I think it's the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think they're due to step back. The Stamkos situation is going to affect them quite heavily. And I just think their time's come and gone. And I think it's really like they might actually be in danger of missing the playoffs this year unless Kucherov somehow just drags them through it. But again, I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. And Justin Johansson, it's on Sportsnet. So that's what I think I've heard. But again, I have not seen confirmation on that either. So we'll go over here. I'm not seeing it on Sportsnet anywhere available to me. Upcoming today at 8 p.m. So it is actually on Sportsnet. Upcoming. So it's saying live and upcoming. So again, I'm really not sure if this is what's happening here, unless it's an upgrade required situation, which I think it might be actually. But again, I guess we'll find out here in a matter of moments. Interesting note there for sure if it is available on Sportsnet. Again, they advertised it Oilers Plus tonight, so I'm not sure why it would be on whatchamacallit, on Sportsnet. But again, still, that one's not flipping live till 8 p.m. So I guess we'll see what's happening. Zeke, the game is live on 6:30 CHED while those boys actually have their pooping in group. Obviously, Oilers Plus trying to build a platform, and still not a fan of it, even though I'm paying for it, that's for sure. Let's go here for a moment to get back to it. You guys are just reacting to the Steven Stamkos comments, so we're good there. When is the Connors going to face off? Connor Bedard versus Connor McDavid. It's sometime in November, I believe, is when Connor Bedard and Connor McDavid face off for the first time, so that's where we're at right now. And Justin's upcoming. So like I said, yeah, that's where I'm thinking it might be an issue. It might be a premium package to get that one tonight on Sportsnet. Obviously, I'm not paying for the premium package because there's really no need to. But right now, it just says it's upcoming. So we'll see if it indeed comes on Sportsnet or not. That might actually explain what's happening here for sure. Sportsnet might have picked up the Seattle Kraken feed last moment, and that's why Oilers Plus's stream is struggling. Not too sure at all there. That's kind of what we're looking at here. So, Craig, any disappointments or surprises in reference to cuts and moves already made? I don't think there's anything yet. There will be some cuts coming. Obviously, a guy like James Hamlin's going to force the issue right down in the last moment. So is Marcus Niemelainen. But there's no surprises with this roster. If Raphael Lavoie doesn't make it, that's your surprise. But that's what we've been talking about for 4 weeks now. So that's kind of the tough part right now for the Oilers is there's no surprises unless something crazy happens in terms of a trade. Scout, to Sam Gagner. Sam Gagner is yet to play in the preseason. He was never going to play in the preseason. He's on a PTO to be at camp, essentially to rehab his hip, figure out the best path forward with the Oilers organization, and then report to Bakersfield on a likely ATO with the Edmonton Oilers to finish the 4 weeks of remaining rehab on his hip, get him into game action, get him up to speed, and be recalled as soon as there is an injury. That's Sam's role this year by the definition. And again, we're not worried about Sam Gagner at all, other than when it comes to when's he going to be ready and when are we going to need him. That's kind of the definition here right now. So how's Lavoie been doing? I think he's been quieter than we expected. I think there might be a little bit of bias there, recency bias, because of Dylan Holloway's magical preseason last year. And Lavoie just kind of has hummed and hawed along, and he's scored a goal. He's had some good plays in the corners. But again, when you're talking about a 6'4" guy, a winger, right-hand shot, I think our expectations are much more substantial than what you've seen from Raphael Lavoie. But you also got to remember he is not playing higher than line 3. And if you told any Oilers fan out there last year, hey, look, we're going to add a 6'4" right-hand shot winger next season that can score and he can hit, I think everybody would have been ecstatic. So again, jury's out until we find out what happens there. So just wait it out. We'll be fine. Wilner, am I going to the Heritage Classic? Yes, I am. Patrick and I have got a pretty substantial plan for the Heritage Classic. It should be a really fun day out there at Commonwealth Stadium. Obviously, they got concerts. They got everything you need. So it's going to be a good time at Commonwealth October 29th. My jersey is already bought. Just waiting to pick up in Edmonton. So we will definitely be rocking out in style at Commonwealth on the 29th. And if it's nice enough, I might wear the jersey under the jean jacket and just rock the jean jacket, the old Canadian tuxedo for the game. I don't know. We'll find out. Look for me. But as we get going here, friends, still waiting for this one to get underway. Still no news on that Sportsnet stream, as it looks like the upgrade is required to watch on Sportsnet. So really don't know what to tell you as of now. So we're waiting to get this one underway again, friends. The Oilers Plus stream is more or less dead in the water. The Sportsnet stream is questionable, and I really don't know what to tell you on this one. So we're going to find out here in a matter of moments. It's now 7:51 local time in Alberta, as we are almost set to get this one underway. Again, friends, if you're just tuning into the pregame show, welcome aboard. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Let me at least take you through tonight's lineup before everything goes sideways on me and I can't watch the game. Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl, Holloway, Ryan, Janmark, Ernie, Hamblin, Lavoie, Griffith, Malone, Bourgault. You've got Kulak, Ceci as the top pair, Gleason and Broberg as your second pair, and Deneen and Kemp fill out the bottom of your defense. Campbell, Picard are your goalies. Campbell gets the start tonight. I tell you, yeah, let's go, Jack Campbell. That's what you need to know right off the bat there, friends. And again, if you're new and welcome, new to the channel, and welcome aboard, because it's always a fun time to get in here for a live stream. I'll tell you that much. As we get going here, Lavoie is quieter than the United States. Oh boy. Alan, who's the tough guy for the Oilers this year? Enforcer type deal. The Oilers really don't have one of those guys. It's more going to be by committee. You saw Kulak step up into that role this past year. Vinny Desharnais's got that game in him. Darnell Nurse has that game in him. I think ideally up front, you'll kind of see some folks throw hands. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nuge take matters into his own hands, as he does every once a year or twice every few years. Dylan Holloway is the guy that I would watch really go out there and try to line up an opportunity just by throwing the hands. That's something that Dylan Holloway has to his game, to somewhat of a credit. He's got that little edge, little bite, and obviously as he matures into his body now at 22, I'd expect him to really define what kind of power forward he's going to be. Jean, what are we saying here? Who's in the lineup? I think you might have saw that get answered there a moment ago. And Joe, I think it's streaming on Sportsnet without this extra subscription. Just had to log in with my TELUS account. It looks like it might work. That's what I'm seeing, but I'm also seeing that there's no watch channel available. So that's what's got me kind of suspicious. Is normally on Sportsnet there's a watch channel while you wait kind of deal, and right now I'm not seeing that as of yet, so that's kind of a concern to me. But again, we'll see what ends up happening here in a matter of moments. And is Yamamoto in Seattle's lineup tonight, Sparky? Yes, as far as I understand, Yamamoto is in there along with a plethora of ex-Edmonton Oilers, and glad to see Holloway in the lineup. He did good in the last game he played. Holloway's been fantastic all preseason. Holloway the last two preseasons has aced the test. The big thing is going to come down to, will the coaches trust him more this year, and will he get that opportunity to elevate his game up the lineup? That's going to be the big part here. So Magic as well. When Nuge fights, you know someone did something. Yes, when Nuge decides to go auto shed and chase after someone, the game's about to erupt. That is what we know from the past 4 or 5 years watching the Oilers. When Nuge loses it, everybody's going into chaos. And obviously we've seen that a couple of times over the past few years. You gotta love Nuge for that. He's a guy, heart and soul guy, and right, not a tough guy, not a big guy. But again, when you're a heart and soul guy, things just happen once in a while, and Nugent Hopkins has had that kind of happen over the past few years. And rightfully so, right? For Nuge, that's fantastic to see. If a guy wants to step in and make that kind of impact on the lineup, even as a regular, and obviously take matters into his own hands. I don't advocate for fighting as much as I used to, but it's really nice to see the Oilers kind of have those guys that, hey, you need me, I'll be there. And Nugent Hopkins is one of those guys all day. Mark, where am I sitting at the Heritage Classic? I think section AA, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. That's where I am, up in the nosebleeds. But again, we'll get those details closer to the day. We'll get through the home opener. After the home opener is done, Patrick and I will be doing the game review. That's kind of when we'll formalize our plans out to you folks back home about what's happening at the Heritage Classic. We'll each have our videos up the week before and yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of work to come, and somehow still 3 preseason games before the season gets underway. Oh boy. But yeah, I appreciate the offer, Mark, and I do hope to run into you here soon at the Heritage Classic. The OEG was nice enough to call me today and offer me some suites for $27 plus $1,600 per ticket. Yeah, no. Craig, Yikes, $27,000 for a seat. That is sweet. That is absolutely outlandish. Hollywood needs to play more than 7 minutes game, John. I would agree with you 100%. If the coaches don't trust Holloway this season, they're never going to trust him. You got to move on and get that going. So that is going to be the biggest question this year: is how much the coaches trust a guy like Lavoie, how much they trust Holloway, and how much they are given room to elevate up the lineup this season. We're still waiting for a live stream of this one. We're 4 minutes out. The Oilers Plus stream yet to figure themselves out as of now, and obviously too, you're yet to get the Sportsnet stream going. So I'm really interested to see what's happening here. McToad's not one of those guys that uses those sites. So as we go, I'm just hoping to get things going, and I'm not seeing anything of promise as of yet here. So that's kind of dangerous. But again, we'll be finding Danny, and we'll see what we'll see where this goes. And Nitin, as we are saying, where can I stream the game? That's, I think, what McToads was replying to. But Oilers Plus, Sportsnet, Roots Sports Northwest in Seattle. I don't know. We're supposed to have some options tonight, and for some reason, nothing's working yet. I think 630 Ched is working. So, again, if you got the old radio dial or the Radio Player Canada app or your laptop or whatever, get on Cam Moon, get on Jack Michaels, whoever's calling the game tonight, and enjoy that for the time being. But, it's kind of not good right now, I'll tell you that much. Kind of starting to panic, and hopefully not have to worry about it too much here. But as we go here, 6:15, 4 point. We are already up over 45 hours watched on the stream, so we should be able to eclipse that 50-hour mark before the stream kicks off officially, which is good to know. But again, we're just waiting to make sure we actually have a stream of tonight's hockey game as the dog's running around losing his mind. And looks like we are maybe somewhat close to getting this underway. I don't know. We'll find out here in a matter of moments. Let's see. Rep Blue, you're ticked off. The Oilers always, or sorry, Sportsnet always shows Toronto games. Guest leaves people got the Bucks, and no, it's about who has the rights and stuff, right? And I will tell you, Sportsnet does not actually show a lot of the Leafs games. A lot of the Leafs games are regionally only available on TSN 3. What you might see is access to it via Sportsnet Premium Plus, which you pay like $85 a month for or something throughout the NHL season. But that's something that I think gets misconstrued quite a bit, honestly, is that Sportsnet is very Homer Leafy. Yes, obviously, the NHL schedules Toronto on a Saturday as often as they can because it's a moneymaker. It's more an NHL thing than a Sportsnet decision. And obviously Sportsnet, as the rights holder in Canada, is going to broadcast the game because, yes, it means money for them too. But realistically, they do not have regional nights. So Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday, or Sunday, more than likely the game from the Leafs will be on TSN 3 or whatever their broadcast channel is on TSN. So that's kind of the sketchy part, right? Even for the Oilers, yes, Sportsnet owns the broadcasting rights both regionally and nationally for the Edmonton Oilers. That's the deal the Oilers themselves have. So again, we'll see what's happening here with those rights over the next few years, as that Sportsnet deal is coming up here soon, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So stay tuned. Be interesting to see where that goes here. But let's go here. Craig, on Leafs game that'll broadcast on Sportsnet Plus. Yes, okay. So we're now at 8 o'clock. So we should be able to watch this here, watch live. And let's see if this is going to actually play. And it is actually going to play. So giddy up. It's available on Sportsnet Plus, but not actual Sportsnet this evening. That is interesting. So again, it's still behind a paywall for those of you back home if you're looking for the game to get going. But where's the game being streamed? It should be on Oilers Plus. It is not on Oilers Plus this evening, in fact. It should be, actually, and isn't, but it is, but it isn't. I don't know what happened here. It looks like it is exactly as I thought. Benefits of having somewhat media experience. Sportsnet has picked up the Seattle Kraken broadcast of the Edmonton Oilers game tonight. So Oilers Plus would have your more or less home feed for this one. Again, their stream's not working though, so the game is publicly available for a fee on Sportsnet Plus, despite it being the Pacific Northwest Root Sports feed from the Seattle Kraken live out of Seattle, Washington. So that's what you need to know. It's on Sportsnet Plus. If you have a television cable provider, that's the big thing. Log in with your cable provider, your satellite provider information into Sportsnet. You get it for free as part of your provider if you have the sports package with Sportsnet on your cable. So keep that in mind. Do that. That's going to work out just dandy for you. James, welcome in all the way from South Korea. Let's go Oilers. I appreciate it. We are back big time for another season of hockey, and I'm looking forward to seeing all our friends from across the Oilers world, I guess you could say, rejoin us as the season goes along. Playoffs were a special time. Those games against the Boston Bruins were special, and I'm looking forward to making more memories here this season as well. Laura, welcome in. And Sportsnet now is up, Dean. Yes, that is indeed. Despite it being the Seattle Kraken feed, does make sense though. So 600-pound tune now, Alan. That's I like that comment. I definitely lived by that back in the day as well. As we get going here, Mr. Joe, yes, in the U.S., ESPN Plus should be streaming the game as well. Oilers Plus a joke. Yeah, no, that's the big thing. I was not a fan of it from the start, the idea to live stream the preseason games, and honestly, I don't know why they decided to do what they decided to do, but they did it, that's for sure. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now. And live game link, unfortunately, right now what you're going to want to do is log into what's the link here? Let me see this. Watch.sportsnet.ca. There you go. That is where you are going to watch the game tonight, is on watch.sportsnet.ca. That's Sportsnet Plus. That's how you'll get that going right there. So it's on the regular subscription. Don't you worry. If you log in with your cable television provider, you'll be able to have free access to the game. All right, as we go here, looking forward to put those nasty forest fires behind us and enjoy a good Canadian winter. Yes, that definitely was a mark on the live streams during the playoffs. There was a lot of folks displaced across Alberta, Northwest Territories, and Northwestern BC. So that's where we're kind of hoping everybody's back home, ready to go, and watching another season of the Edmonton Oilers this year. So as we get going, friends, GSB is asking if Yamamoto's scoring against us. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think the odds are? 110%? More than likely, right? That figures out for the Oilers that Yamamoto would be the guy to score against us tonight. And as we get going, John, welcome in as well. As friends, if you're just tuning along for the ride, good evening. I'm Tyson, this Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard for another Edmonton Oilers preseason live stream. My great pleasure to be alongside you as we fire up the Seattle Kraken broadcast feed on Sportsnet Plus this evening. And we should be ready to rock and roll here for what will be a good game between the Oilers and Kraken. A more veteran lineup for the Seattle Kraken, a more make it or break it lineup for the Edmonton Oilers, and we'll see how that kind of translates out for both teams this evening. And you're even going to end up getting you're going to get the Seattle feed right away. No commercial cutting, nothing. You're watching Emerald Queen Casino and Hotel commercials. Excuse me. It's like watching Fox 17 or whatever you get in Alberta, which is out of Seattle, Washington. All right, here we go, friends. Patrick has joined the chat saying that Devon Shore will likely score against us as a member of the Seattle Kraken tonight. That is not really surprising either. There's a plethora of them that could possibly do it, and I expect any of them will get the job done. Yeah, of course it is. So yeah, that would figure. That is where we're at tonight. The old Oilers Plus stream struggling to get going, and so the Oilers are broadcast on Sportsnet Plus tonight, and it is all paywalls. Ay. Welcome to the year 2023. Where you can watch the game, friends. If you're looking for the link to the game, I've got the link at the top. Log into watch.sportsnet.ca on your cable provider in Canada, or if you have an account with Sportsnet, just sign in and you should be good to go to watch the game tonight, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of what we're getting done here tonight. And on your cable box and don't see the game anywhere. Yeah, it's on Sportsnet Plus. It's on the subscription-based Sportsnet, not the cable-based Sportsnet. Let's go here. JK, welcome in as well. And we should be good to go. And Mark, glad to see that worked out for you. The Sportsnet Plus feed, you have it on now. There you go. That's as simple. If you have any kind of cable satellite provider, you have login details with your provider. You log into their website via Sportsnet, sign up, say, yeah, I'm good to go to authorize this website to access my details, and that allows you to get watch.sportsnet. So you're going to be just fine taken care of there if you're able to do that. And obviously, I'm sure we'll see a bunch of people coming in that are saying the exact same thing here in a few minutes. Kool-Aid, welcome in, and Hamzy, welcome in as well. Is it just the Sportsnet app? Yes, it is, unfortunately. It's supposed to be available on Oilers Plus. They have yet to fire up their stream last I checked. So we'll obviously see if that changes during the intermission. But Oilers Plus creating a little bit of a stir this evening without firing up the stream live. So is there anything we're missing here? I don't think there is. We should be good. I don't think the Oilers have made anything. No. Is there anything here? No, there is not. No, I think we are good, actually. And Jack starts tonight. That's what you need to know. So there you go. We're good to get going. Real welcome in. Is it on Oilers Plus? Like I'm saying, it's supposed to be, but it's on Sportsnet Plus right now because they've picked up the Seattle Kraken feed and rebroadcasting it up here in Canada. And yeah, we should be good to go here in a matter of a few moments. Due to league restrictions, can't watch it in Quebec. That sucks. Yeah, that's I thought if it's on Sportsnet Plus, with it being the Kraken feed, it would be publicly available across the country tonight, but I guess not. So we are regionally available, in both locations, Seattle and Washington. That's really weird. Jack Campbell, 21-9-4 in his 34 starts last season. Philip Grubauer, 17-14-4. Grubauer with the better numbers in terms of saves and goals against. Interesting note. Head coach's records last year, Dave Haxtell with 46 wins to his credit. You like to see it. Rob Rock in the denim, yes indeed. As Connor McDavid draws into the face-off, dot will be scrambled to the far side boards. The Seattle Kraken Arena, again, I think this is one of the weirdest broadcast angles in hockey, just based on how it feels the ice is presented to you. Broberg with the puck in the corner. Cody Ceci rims it around high and out of the zone. Connor McDavid tries to pick it up. It was cut off by the Kraken to the blue line. Broberg guns it ahead up to Zach Hyman, who's battling, looking to find a guy along the middle of the ice. He'll turn back into the near side boards. Draisaitl rolling to McDavid. Drag shoots and into the glove of Philip Grubauer as Zach Hyman chests him up in the blue paint. And we are off and starting right away out of the gate. The Oilers getting a good chance here. McDavid with a beautiful little toe move there to just put that puck back behind the stick of Adam Larsson. Done that to him a ton in practice, I'm sure. And McDavid gets the shot to start this hockey game. Now you'll have Derek Ryan and obviously Dylan Holloway take the ice here for the Oilers in the offensive zone. Janmark helps win the face-off. He's battling against three Kraken along the boards. Shot fired in by Ben Gleason. Grubauer never saw it. To the far side boards, worked out now by the Kraken. Down the ice it comes in front of the Oilers bench. That's Derek Ryan picking it up against traffic, firing it back into the Kraken end. Schultz fires it over to the far side D-man. It'll be fired up now along the boards. Janmark battles it ahead for Ryan, who tips it deeper into the Kraken zone. Holloway throws a check as the puck rims around to the near side. Holloway stumbles as he cuts off the puck. That allows the Kraken to regroup, and they'll bust out their blue line and chip it into the Oilers' near side corner, trying to beat the defenseman Gleason. Gleason picks up the puck. He'll play it ahead. Derek Ryan's taken down, and no call on the play as Ryan was stumbling and helped down by the stick of the Seattle Kraken player. Picked up in the far side corner by Vinny Desharnais, slapped off the boards, finds a way onto the stick of Adam Ernie, who's across the bench, and onto the ice and into the offensive zone in a few strides. That didn't work out. Seattle cleared it back. The Oilers regroup in their own end, fired ahead, tipped in by an Oilers stick in front of the benches, and Philip Grubauer plays it around the near side boards, and the Kraken will just finally be content to try and play this one cleanly. Nice Burium hit there along the boards as the puck exited the zone by the Oilers in the Kraken end. This one now to the near side boards, picked up there by Dineen. He'll see the Oilers battling along the boards, picked up now by Hamlin, pushes it ahead, and Adam Larsson pushes across the ice and again plays it into the Oilers end. Deep, but the Oilers immediately retrieve it back down into Kraken territory, and this one's just going back and forth right out of the gate here to start this hockey game. Oilers in behind the net, Brad Malone battling it there in the Kraken zone, trying to come up with his puck. He's working the man over and now has taken a penalty against the Seattle Kraken defender. 17:35 remaining here in this first period as the Oilers' lack of discipline out nice and early in this hockey game. They'll give Jack Campbell the touch on that puck despite no possession, and Brad Malone will head to the penalty box. The captain of the Bakersfield Condors taking the first penalty of the game. The Kraken the power play here momentarily. To the chat quickly here in a moment. Finishing top 3 in the Western Conference standings at the end of the season, I would assume so. Simon, I would assume so. And what do we got here? Well, it says it's regionally restricted, so it's regionally restricted in the Oilers region. That is interesting as well. And yes, Oilers Plus struggling to broadcast the game. The Kraken right off the face-off. Win it, get possession, and get rolling around the zone. Schultz wiring it around. Jack Campbell, I don't know if that hit the pad, but if it did, nice little kick save for him. Now to the near side boards. The Kraken rolling around, go back to the point. That's going to be tipped off the stick briefly for the Oilers, and they're going to be able to work it back to the near side point just at the boards there. That didn't end up coming out of the zone. Instead, it's in behind the Oilers' net. Broberg tries to force it back to the point. He does, but the Kraken niftily play it back into possession and roll around the zone a little bit here. In behind the net, they'll come to the near side dot. Burakovsky walks down. He'll look at firing the puck. Now he'll turn back as Broberg's working him back to the boards. The Oilers zoning it up here on the penalty kill, just forming that box and rotating around. Jack Campbell, a nice couple of saves there to see it into Oilers' possession off an errant pass from the Kraken, and down the ice it'll go into Philip Grubauer's possession at the 200-foot mark of the ice. That's not a bad go, as this will be picked up now by the Kraken, turned back into their own zone just for a brief moment, picking up speed. Kyler Yamamoto in the Connor McDavid position, and this one now the Kraken enter the Oilers zone and set up camp. They're going to look to make a play here, and if Yamamoto's going to score, it'll be right here on the power play with 39 seconds to go. Puck's loose at the side of the net. The players were getting excited about it. Me personally, nothing, because I knew Jack Campbell had it under the glove. But the Oilers get immediately started. Campbell knocks that down, makes a secondary save off the toe. Justin Schultz with a good look and seeing eye shot. And then that one just flips up over top of the net by Jack Campbell. So we are off to a good start here so far for the Oilers. You've killed off a minute 23 of a power play. You're 4 minutes in. The score is 0-0. The shots are 1-1. So thankfully, despite the penalty, we're doing okay. And how about a clear right off the face-off to get it down the length of the ice to Grubauer once again, 200 feet away from the Edmonton Oilers net. 20 seconds remains on the 5-on-4 for the Kraken. They'll work back into their own zone, load up Kyler Yamamoto one more time. He's across the blue line, but Dylan Holloway says, I've seen this play one too many times in practice. I'm going to bust through, and he's still busting through. Pokes the shot on net. Rebound for Adam Ernie, and what an effort there for Dylan Holloway. I mean, talk about trying to earn a spot. Great follow-up by Ernie, but determination down the sheet of the ice through the offensive zone from Dylan Holloway. Just about puts the puck in the net for the Oilers. He's battling, held off from that puck, and somehow almost poked it 5-hole on Philip Grubauer. What an effort from Dylan Holloway. And it looks like the Kraken will send some guys across the boards onto the ice late, and we will have a reload here on the ice with 3 seconds to go. My goodness, Dylan Holloway battling for that puck. Dives out, desperation last second. Poked the puck to the right. If he would have poked it straight, it's through the 5-hole on Grubauer. But still a great effort there from Mr. Dylan Holloway with only less than 5 minutes gone in this first period. Love to see it. Now with 15:33 to go, we'll have a face-off in the Kraken zone with 3 minutes or 3 seconds, remaining in the penalty to Brad Malone. We have an issue with the time clock. This is the second game in a row we've had a problem with the time clock at an Oilers game in the preseason. The debacle to start, I believe, the second or third period against the Vancouver Canucks the other night was absolutely unbelievable from the sounds of it on the radio with Mooner and Bob. This one's going to be at the Oilers' blue line. Penalty is now over. The Kraken force it in, get a shot towards the net, drifts into the near side corner. Kraken quickly back on it, and they'll set up shop for a few seconds here in the Oilers' zone. This one goes down low, batted in behind over to Phil Kemp. Kemp's going to race there to get it. Brad Malone's still on the ice following the exit from the bench, or box, and now Adam Larsson somehow comes up with this puck, wires it up over top of the net, and it looks like it goes out of play. No, it doesn't. Never mind. Dylan Holloway. Connor McDavid's got this puck. Thought I saw a 5. It was the 7. Didn't notice what was going on there till I saw the C, and this is flipped down into Oilers territory where Broberg will pick up this puck and load up Connor McDavid. He beats the man on the outside. Now McDavid on the outside all the way. Drags a shot right up off the side of Grubauer, who knocks it down, freezes it on the side of the net, and we'll have a stoppage in play with just under 15 minutes to play in this first period. That's not too bad of an effort there from Connor McDavid, let me tell you. To the comments for a quick minute. Glenn, Plus is not loading the game. Yeah, for some reason they aren't. And Sarah, where can you watch the game? If you log into watch.sportsnet.ca with your cable provider or satellite provider details, internet provider even I think works, you can get that done. Patrick, meanwhile they're replaying Toronto choking against Montreal on Sportsnet. That is fantastic. And it's working in poor quality and sticking. Okay, interesting to see Oilers Plus struggling right out of the gate. Why can't we watch the game on Oilers Plus? Yeah, guys, I am not too sure what happened there right out of the gate, but it seems like something was glitching in the background for Oilers Plus, either with their broadcast stream or with the feed from Seattle. 3-1 the shots for the Oilers here in Seattle right now as Broberg picks it up alongside Jack Campbell. He'll lose the battle to Matty Beniers, and Beniers will fire it back in behind the net. 13:58 to go as the Kraken again load up in the Oilers zone, force a shot down low. Hamlin's going to be the man beneficiary to that, and it'll be chipped up off the boards and down into the Kraken end as those guys go for a line change, and the Oilers will regroup, trying to get the forecheck going here. The Kraken will get the breakout immediately. Bourgault in pursuit, unable to cut that one off. That forces Vinny Desharnais to throw a hit along the boards after the puck rimmed around to the near side. This one now picked up, shot towards the net, and the Oilers are going to gear up and go the other way. Seth Griffith getting in on the attack. Here's the shot, loading, rebound, scores! Edmonton Oilers batted in. I'm not sure who the trailer was. I believe it may have been Xavier Bourgault trailing in down the middle of the ice. Go to the net and good things happen, kid. And Xavier Bourgault makes it happen there for the Edmonton Oilers. That's doing the family proud, that's for sure. As this one comes down the ice, good shot here for the Oilers, kicks out on the rebound. Bourgault just niftily in his feet, backhands it on net, and puts it right past Grubauer in the open net. And Ben Gleason, he's looked good. Good shot, good assist, good goal for Borgie. All right, we like it. We like it. 1-0. 13 players with 10 plus goals last season were the Edmonton Oilers. They had quite a few goal scorers. I'd like to see that creep up to 15 if we could. Let's score a ton of goals this year. McDavid can give up 5 or 6 goals this year, so long as some other guys get into double digits. 1-0 for the Edmonton Oilers. 13:09 to go here in the first period of play. Kailer Yamamoto's now speeding across the Oilers line. He'll dip it back to the blue liner. The shot comes in to the near side. Adam Larsson cues up a one-time slap shot off the boards, and Jack Campbell handles it niftily in the glove. That'll stop play for right now. We'll go to commercial break in Seattle and have a few moments to rest here, as that was a ton of action in the opening 7 minutes of this hockey game. Friends, welcome aboard Dolynny TV. I'm Tyson. My great pleasure to have you along this evening. We're watching the Seattle Kraken feed on Sportsnet Plus, which you can log into at watch.sportsnet.ca if you'd be so kind. Venture over there. If you have a cable, internet, satellite provider, you punch in your digits and away you go. You'll be good to go and be able to watch this game for free because you're already paying for it on your cable. But again, if that's not the case, you either pay for Sportsnet Plus like I do, or you watch on the Oilers Plus stream that I'm seeing is now working for those of you back home. So there you go. It is where it is. As we get going though, friends, just going to take a brief moment to take a look and see where we're at in terms of the old watch time as we kick this stream off. 3.5. We're already up over 100 hours on the stream. That's not a bad go. Don't mind that at all. And as I get going here as well, friends, I'm going to ask you, if you are new to the channel, if you'd be so kind to consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. Entering action tonight, we're at 12,680. We're 320 shy of 13,000 strong here on Dolynny TV. And as we're currently at 12,686. So yeah, definitely, if you get a chance, if you'd be kind to consider hitting that subscribe button if you can. I understand back home some of you are probably logged into the chat on your phone and watching this live stream on your TV if you're not watching the game. So that's an interesting development that Patrick from the Oilers Fanatic that you see in the chat here made me aware of this summer, is that like 20% of you watch the videos and live streams on TV at home. That blew my mind. I'm telling you, still talking about it. Is Yamamoto playing tonight, Riley? Yes, he is. He's had some zone entries for the Edmonton Oilers so far. There he is on our camera right now. And we're looking forward to seeing him have a quiet game, but a good game for the Seattle Kraken. All right. And Sparky, yes, the amount of the Edmonton Oilers former players on the Kraken this season is hilarious. It is true. The Oilers have quite a few ex-players on the Seattle Kraken. McDavid in the face-off dot. He will lose it back. This one will be shot ahead. Jack Campbell swallows it up with the shoulder, deflects it into the corner. This one bounces off the end boards. That's a brutal giveaway off the end boards there by Draisaitl. Quickly regrouped it himself though. Backhand sauce in the middle of the ice. Zach Hyman takes a spill but touches it. And this one now goes in behind Adam Larsson, who touches quickly to Matty Beniers. Beniers will almost lose this one to Hyman and then just be able to avoid the forecheck of Connor McDavid as the Kraken quickly move it down the length of the ice into the Oilers' end. This one now picked up, nice little just quick pass over to Connor McDavid, who's speeding up the ice, loses the handle on it. Adam Larsson poke checks him away from him. Beniers goes down to Kemp. Kemp will regroup in the Oilers' end with exactly 12 minutes here to play in this first period. Broberg back across to Kemp. Sorry, that's Dineen. I always confuse those two. And this one's going to come now back the other way. Picked up by the Seattle Kraken across the line. The shot fired towards the net. Steered out by Jack Campbell along the boards. The Oilers pick it up and they're going to race back the other way. Dylan Holloway, forehand, backhand, dump it in to the Kraken zone. And now this one behind the net, working there in favor of Dylan Holloway. And the Oilers comes back to the near side point. Broberg plays it back down to Holloway, who chips it over to Janmark. Janmark spins off the corner, comes back to the far side point, back over to Broberg near side now. This one down the left wing, and it'll be reworked to Derek Ryan, who continues the battle for the Oilers' forecheckers. Dylan Holloway does a good job to tie him up, and despite the puck getting out of the zone, the Oilers retain possession at the center line as Broberg waltzes back into the Oilers' face-off dot area in front of Jack Campbell as they complete a line change. Here's Broberg looking steady as ever, working this one up off the boards, tipped in there by the Oilers. They're to the forecheck. Here's Hamlin playing it near side, corner to Lavoie. Lavoie will go over back to Hamlin, who I thought had lost a stick, but he just kind of had it held straight up and down. And now Burakovsky cuts it off for the Seattle Kraken. The terrible play there from Cody Ceci to try and tip it to an open player. And the Kraken were able to get across the blue line for a brief moment. There's a nice tip from Raphael Lavoie, who forced it down to Grubauer, cutting it off and throwing it off the boards back into Oilers territory. Desharnais spin pass over to Gleason, who has an assist on the Borgo goal so far early on in this one. 10:30 to go as Brad Malone fires it along the left wing. Now goes to the right side. Chasing after it is Xavier Borgo. You could not have colored me more shocked that the fourth line tonight is the guys who busted through. Ben Gleason fires the shot. That drifts off to the far side point. Backfired there by Desharnais. Again blocked by the Kraken. Now up the ice it goes to Yamamoto. Him and Borgo battling against it. And this is going to be just an interesting kind of little mess along the near side Oilers line. And then end up in the Seattle Kraken zone. Picked up now by the Kraken as they enter the Oilers' end. Here's Yamamoto rolling around the Oilers' end. Brad Malone thought he had cut it off. Brad Malone, former teammate with Kyler Yamamoto, both in Bakersfield and in Edmonton at the two levels, the NHL and the AHL. All right, we are good to go. As Tony, why not show the game here? Well, it's copyright restrictions apply there. I have a monetized channel on YouTube. I show copyright, my channel go bye-bye. I really don't want to do that. And obviously we provide a pretty good service here on Dolynny TV, I think. So, again, it's something I wish I could do, but obviously, ultimately, I can't. And Craig, Sportsnet Plus is streaming 30 plus seconds faster than the Oilers app. Yeah, that would be the case. And Sparky, you're saying the announcer keeps calling Vinny David Desharnais. Yeah, that makes sense. I think there was a lot of Oilers fans that mistakenly did that at the start of his tenure with the Oilers last year. But again, it's kind of one of those things you should know by now. And Mark, yes, Campbell's looking pretty good so far. I don't think there's been any issues with Jack Campbell so far. He's made 2 or 3 good saves, and other than that, it's a scoreless game for the Kraken. So that's really all that matters on the end. And Billy, yes, the old copyright radar's got to be on because yeah, I don't dare mess with that. I've been struck down by the NHL twice, got a 3-month ban, and was able to get another one reversed because they knew what was happening at that point. But struck down by the NHL, and it really sucks to go 3 months without being able to live stream, especially when the Edmonton Oilers and the NHL playoffs are kicking off during that live stream period. All right, and Alan, the backdrop's looking good. Yeah, I think it's coming along. I think it'll look much better once we add up that new Heritage Classic jersey. And 2, I think it might be time to replace one of those reverse retros with, of course, the new home jersey. That's for sure. Here we go. Let's go. Face off for Connor McDavid in the defensive zone. Riker Evans, born in Calgary, Alberta, 5'11", 189 pounds, if you know. And here, this one's going to come back into the near side corner off the face-off for the Oilers. Strip away. Jordan Eberle stole that puck like it was nothing from Connor McDavid, and then Leon Draisaitl avoids contact and watches the Seattle Kraken defenseman throw the puck. What a play. Is that Vincent Dunn? No, that's Jacob Magna. And that is where we are at. So it's kind of tough. And Mark, when it comes to whose Heritage Classic jersey did I get? I did not get anyone. I did not get anyone's name put on the back of my jersey. I will do that during the home opener at Rogers Place on October 14th. I've got a quick text message to reply to regarding hockey here. I can get it, I'm sure. So there we go. We'll get that figured out tomorrow. But Connor McDavid playing it back down low into the Oilers zone. This one played ahead to Draisaitl. He'll backhand sauce across to McDavid, who's going to leave it for Hyman at the Oilers offensive blue line. Now picked up by Dineen at the Oilers offensive blue line. McDavid turns it on to Draisaitl, who bats it back down below the goal line to McDavid. Tries to play it in front to, is that Dineen? Yeah, that's Dineen. Now the turnover to the Kraken. Back the other way. The Kraken are going to fire this one up off the stick of a Jordan Eberle guy. And puck goes up and out of play. That's a good thing that I know Jordan Eberle's number as well as I can. And Bill, thank you for the comment on the jerseys as well. And here we go. 1-0 for the Edmonton Oilers over the Seattle Kraken. Here with 8:44 to go in this first period. The Oilers are going to see this one poked along the boards to the near side. In the Seattle Kraken zone, battle along the boards there for it, backhanded, now picked up by the Kraken. Burakovsky's got it, he busts out of the zone, quick pass ahead, finds its way on a tip all the way down to Jack Campbell, plays it off. The goaltenders have been active, playing the puck here early on in this one. It's going to roll in behind for the Kraken in the Oilers zone, and now Burakovsky, who's been on the ice quite a bit here for the Kraken, he's out there. Played down low by the Kraken again. They're trying to work this one high, low, and nothing's really substantially working. Beautiful. I mean, beautiful block shot for Dylan Holloway. sliding like he's going into second for a double on a sketchy play, and slides across, kicks out the leg, and makes a beauty block shot right there for the Edmonton Oilers. That's what you like to see from Dylan Holloway. My goodness, that's huge. But it looks like Derek Ryan has taken a penalty, and the Oilers will be down a man again here in this first period of play with 8:04 to go. But what a block there from Dylan Holloway. And you didn't even catch the penalty from Derek Ryan, who got the hand tangled up under the arm of Burakovsky, and that's going to do it for a hold. And now the Oilers will clear the puck on the ensuing face-off down the length of the ice. Grubauer out to play it off the end boards. He leaves it there for Justin Schultz, former Edmonton Oiler. He'll work up the ice, dump it back down low, as this one's picked up now by former Edmonton Oiler Jordan Eberle across the line. Is this a former Edmonton Oiler? No, Burakovsky's thankfully not a former Edmonton Oiler. This one goes down to Grubauer. 7:38 to go here in this first period of play. $1:32 remaining in the power play for the Kraken. Down now into Jordan Eberle's possession as he'll take the rush ahead. He'll work into the offensive zone below the goal line as Broberg helps the puck along and out of the zone. 1-0 here remains the score with 7:20 in the first to go. Justin Schultz with the puck now. What do you suppose he's going to do with it? He's going to step ahead, dump it back down low, and here comes somebody else. It's Kyler Yamamoto this time. Bucko 2 remains in the power play. Fired across the far side point. Kraken getting the puck worked around, now near side. Blue line shot, fired, save, chest, logo, save. Jack Campbell, who's on 6 shots so far. Perfect. We like it. And yeah, you guys are taking care of each other in the chat, saying where you can watch the game tonight. I appreciate that. That's the niceties of having 108 viewers in here instead of 600, 700, is it's much easier for those of us that are in tune with everything to be able to sit back and just take care of each other as comments come up. 1-0 here in this first period for the Oilers. 6:49 go. And the Kraken off the face-off were able to control. They lost the puck at the blue line. They'll work back into their own end, quickly play it ahead. They'll bust into the Oilers' zone. That's going to turn around Phil Kemp, who's got to chase after this puck. Ben Gleason in there to assist with the retrieval. This is the nice part about the Oilers 1-3 this year, is that there always seems to be a second guy to help. Tip play, and my goodness, tough go right there for the Oilers. And I think, indeed, on the doorstep, guess who? Kyler Yamamoto scores the goal for the Seattle Kraken, or is it Jaden Schwartz? I'm not too sure. Is it Jaden Schwartz? Yeah, I think it's Jaden Schwartz scoring the goal. As that one bounces, no. It's Kyler Yamamoto. As one could predict, Kyler Yamamoto at the side of the net puts the puck home on the power play. That is where you got to go with it. The Oilers are now tied with the Kraken, and it's former Edmonton Oiler Kyler Yamamoto scoring against the team that traded him for a buyout. Rough go. Yeah, weird. As Patrick says, weird. Yeah, who would have thought? Yikes. 1-1 here in this first period now with 6:20 remaining in the opening frame. Yamamoto, 24 years old, 5'8", 153 pounds. This one's shot down by the Oilers as they immediately get back to the attack. As this one's going to be an absolute dummy hit there by Draisaitl, running the man into the boards. The arm goes up immediately. Draisaitl is a little bit perturbed here. He's on the back check, looking to get back into the play. Kraken work it around. Shot fired, save made by Jack Campbell. 6-man joins the attack for the Kraken. Draisaitl, after that big hit, is going to go right here. Now worked across to Larson. Shot fired across. This one goes down low. McDavid's going to go touch that puck, and that's going to be it. That's going to be all. Be interesting to see what the call here on Draisaitl is. It's 2 minutes probably for boarding, as Kyler Yamamoto has evened this game up at 1 apiece with 5:34 remaining here in this first period. The Kraken again to the power play here momentarily. So that's tough, and obviously, hopefully for the Oilers, we get this sorted out here right away. Yes, indeed. Let me go here. Hair's looking on point today. And let's do this. Bing, bang. Good to go. Perfect. Done and dusted. All right, friends. Yeah, let's see what happens here. But as we're going, it's kind of been a tough start from the Oilers. They've been in some obvious spots. That's the problem. And as we know from the playoffs, when you put yourself in obvious spots, you just keep getting called. That's the dumb part of it. But again, it's end of the day what it is. It'll be interesting to see kind of how this evolves along during the game, I guess you could say. I hope the Oilers kind of figure it out, but again, this one could get away from them quick if they keep parading to the penalty box every 5 minutes or so. Dry is just playing the pest right now. Again, Dry's got to get physically engaged in the game in, game out. And if he's trying to figure out basically how his body's going to feel right off the start of the season and know what he can do early on, that's not a bad thing. I won't mind that at all if he's going out there throwing the weight. Obviously, don't take dumb penalties, but that's tough too. So here's Leon Draisaitl going into the attack against number 8 of the Kraken. As he goes out there, he goes in to throw the hit. And that's tough. There was a foot away from the boards, but man was turning around, not looking, pops the helmet off, head hits the boards. Yeah, that's a penalty. That's the unfortunate part there. And Draisaitl 2 minutes for charging is the call. I guess that would be correct with him being a foot off the boards and Draisaitl skating over there. That is charging by the definition. And the Kraken back to the power play right here. Burakovsky and the Kraken have sucked all the fun out of this one with the help of the refs so far. Not blaming the refs, obviously. Don't call the rule book, but just sucks that the Oilers again find themselves in this situation to start another preseason game. This one will go down the length of the ice, 1-1. The score with 8-5. The shots for the Seattle Kraken, 5:02 to go here in the first period of play. Kraken pick it up again. Jordan Eberle chips it out to the open man Burakovsky, who I swear spent 20 minutes on the ice this period. Matty Beniers, who we've seen briefly at times, out there on the power play right now. This one's going to go back to the blue line, actually forces it way out of the zone, down low to Grubauer, who plays it off the bounce and leaves it there for one of the Kraken players, and this will now work ahead into the middle of the ice. This one will go back the other way for Yamamoto. This one now along the far side boards for the Kraken. Yamamoto plays it along, and this one continues back the other way for Ernie. Is this going to be backhanded into Grubauer's stick handling area again? And we will see what happens here on this rush from the Seattle Kraken. And if you're looking at me, saying like, "Hey, Tice, why are you looking a little bored of this hockey game?" is because for most of this game so far, outside of 1 or 2 rushes down the ice for the Oilers, we've pretty much just watched the Kraken load up in their own zone and go back the other way. Here's the Oilers trying to do that said such thing. And how about Bourgault getting to the attack here with 15 seconds to go on the penalty? He's tripped up along the boards. Nothing coming there. A man checking him along with the stick. Bourgault's still battling with that puck, and I guess the puck's somewhere up underneath his pants. And he'll take the what for and, end up freezing the puck with 3:38 to go here in this first period of play. Okay, interesting start to this one. Obviously, lack of discipline costing the Oilers here early on. And we'd like to see them more or less clean that up here ASAP so as we don't have to deal with it all night long. And as we're going along, friends, good to see the old live streams starting to fire up and do their thing this afternoon, this evening. Looks like we've had a ton of views coming in so far this evening. Interesting. All right, here we go. This one, back to the Oilers zone. Full strength now are the two teams on the ice, the Kraken and the Oilers. Kraken set up the attack, though, on a puck bouncing around the zone. Desharnais able to mishandle it and guide it to the blue line. 1-1 your score with 3:18 to go. Jack Campbell out to play it now. Well, that'll be Vinny Desharnais playing it along the boards. Kraken player couldn't handle it. Now Draisaitl back out on the ice. Will backhand it. Somehow works out for Gleason. Still works out for the Oilers. The Kraken just playing pinball with that puck and putting it right back in Oilers' possession with just under 3 minutes to go. That one a nice beauty pass by Leon Draisaitl. Here's Connor McDavid busting wide. Takes out Grubauer. He's taken out. Hyman throws a hit. And the Oilers almost had something there. As McDavid flying out there. He's going to load up again. He's going to go far side. to the near side. Draisaitl couldn't handle the pass. Now McDavid's got it in behind the net, and here's the problem. We haven't called Connor McDavid in a few months. Outside of that opening game there, what was it, against the Jets or Flames? And yeah, you're watching it right here. I'm melting down. My brain's literally melting in front of you watching him play hockey again. That feels good in a sense. Feels good. Here we go. Let's get this going. Yamamoto, 1 goal, 2 shots, 441 on the ice so far. Jamie, do I think the Americans changed hockey in a negative way? I don't think there's really any influence. I think time has just changed hockey in a negative way, knowing obviously everything that's gone on with CTE and stuff, and kind of how things are rolling along, progressing with the medical field in behind hockey. So I don't think there's really any negative changes to hockey at all. This one going back the other way, 2:12 to go as the Kraken will get this going. I will have another thought on that negative changes to hockey thing in a moment. 2:04 here in this first period of play as this one comes along the near side boards. This one worked back, shot fired, and we've got nothing hitting the net there from Vinny Desharnais. This one battling for Seth Griffith. Of course, Cam Dineen's pushed off the puck. That allows the Kraken to retain possession. $1:45 to go here in this first period of play. The Oilers are going to see this one lifted off a stick and out of play, my friends, and that we'll go there right there with 1-1, our score with $1:38 to go here in this first period of play. 8-5 the shots on goal for the Kraken. And Mark, to the comment about calling the rule book against the Kraken, like I'm saying, it's not necessarily that the Kraken are guilt-free, but the Oilers are making it easy, right? That's what we saw in the playoffs. The Oilers made it easy to call penalties against them, right? You could take a trip to the penalty box less than 3 minutes in. Well, now the next time you're doing something sketchy, you're being watched, right? Is, again, call the rule book, but problem is there's a give and take with the rule book at the NHL refereeing level. We've known that for years, and of course when the Oilers do dumb things right out of the gate, they're being watched more and more, and as it comes it goes, right? So it's tough there, and obviously the Kraken on that Dylan Holloway chance definitely could have done something to take a penalty, but wasn't called. 1-1 here, as this one's going to be worked out of the Oilers zone. Again, the Kraken just really controlling the entire period outside of 1 goal for the Oilers. The Oilers have had maybe some sustained zone time, but again, I don't think there's much else to it at this point. 48 seconds to go here in this first period of play. The Oilers are going to get a chance to the net. Lavoie on the stretch pass, and then Bourgault follows up and forces Grubauer to freeze it with 41 seconds to go here. That's the big problem is, the Oilers, just not a lot of zone time. Yeah, the penalties don't help, but it just seems every time we're talking about it, the Oilers are either jumbling up pucks in the Kraken zone or we're down in our own zone being walked around on the penalty kills. So tough first period here for the Oilers. Lucky to be tied 1-1 so far. James Hamlin coming back the other way on the attack. Fires the shot, steered off the stick of Grubauer. 27 seconds to go into Raphael Lavoie, who will play it along the boards, playing it to Bourgault. Young kids getting to play together here. This comes down to Broberg. 17 seconds remain. Broberg gets hammered up there. He gets a horse collar there right up along the neck. That doesn't get called. That's something that I think we're going to see called quite heavily throughout the season, and I'm shocked it didn't get called there if you want to talk about missed penalties. And that will do it for this first period of play. So that's the thing, right? I guess things like that where you'd expect a call in the regular season, you're not getting it for you in the preseason. But again, as well, also know that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are on the sheet tonight, so that means, right, do you really want to send the Oilers to the power play all night because they'll just win 8-0? Again, we've heard that mantra for months on end over the past 9-8 months, whatever you want to say. So keep that in mind too. It's going to be one of those nights probably based on this first period. I don't want to be that guy wondering about the refs. I try my best not to, but it's tough right there as well not to do that. 24-21. Okay, let me take a run at that and guess where we're going here. After the first period of play, friends, we are up and already at 3.6, which we're up at 145 hours. So best watch day of the month here on Dolynny TV. Yesterday was 114 hours for reference. So I'm going to leave you a brief moment on the subscribe ad. If you are new to the channel, I'd love to have you hit that subscribe button. I'll come back down, we'll regroup where we're at, and we'll talk about things here in a matter of moments. Thanks for being aboard. See you in a few. All right, friends. Well, if you've hit that subscribe button, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Very much so appreciate it. As we get towards hockey season here on Dolynny TV, it's obviously the preseason. We're getting things wrapped up here in a matter of a few days, and that's going to feel really good. So just to give you a quick update here as we roll along. What do we got going here? What do the Oilers have to do to turn this around? I think Mark answered that. Play some disciplined hockey. Stop giving the refs a reason to call you, and start earning some calls yourself, right? Dylan Holloway did everything he could during a call on that rush down the ice. Again, though, he also still got the shot on net, so that's a positive in some sense right there. Craig, that is hilarious. Again, what I would tell you is I believe Pro-Am Sports is a designated plating area for Oilers jerseys. So Pro-Am Sports in Edmonton, or you can always go down to Ice District and get them to plate things. I think if you get the right attendant at the desk at Ice District's Authentics, you can probably get anything you want plated. Those guys and ladies down there, they're fantastic. Honestly, some of the best that OEG has from what I know so far. I've had a couple of chats with some of the folks that work in there, and obviously too, Patrick's been down there plenty of times and had nothing but good things to say about the team there. So definitely, anytime you're feeling like doing something custom with your Oilers jersey, go on down there and see what you can do first. They're your first stop, I guarantee that. As we get going here in the intermission, there's Bowie coming into the stream, coming to hang out, and Toastical, welcome in as well. Good to see you aboard as we're rolling into this intermission, just waiting for obviously the game to resume here in about 20 minutes time, as we're going to watch the same commercials over and over and over again here on this live stream brought to you by Sportsnet, courtesy of Root Sports Northwest. Really, as I see, obviously too, it's been an interesting start to the live stream, knowing that we couldn't watch the stream until right at 8 o'clock, and then knowing too that the Oilers Plus stream then fired up. That would have been a big measure of complicating for today, that's for sure. So as we're rolling along, friends, just to take a look at things in the background on Dolynny TV, looks like we're humming along and things should turn out pretty okay today. Keep on pace for what should be a special month here towards the home opener. That's the big thing, is I actually have a year to reference. I got to try and outdo last year, and I think there's no way we don't outdo last year this year for sure. Let me see here. I promised you we'd get an update on the subscriber watch, and how about that? 12,690. Cool. We are almost 12,700, so we should be able to crush that off end of tonight. Toast will love to see that the streams are back. Yes, the streams I'm hoping are going to be a little bit more of a regular occurrence throughout the regular season than they were last year. I go in spurts, it seems, and obviously the Oilers have some weird travel days and stuff, but I'm going to try and make a better effort to, even if the Oilers start at 5 and I can't stream till 6, I'm going to try and get that done for you so as we can try and more or less make it happen. And Mark, yes, I'm also going to the home opener. Patrick and I have some preliminary plans for a very big day at Rogers Place in Ice District that opening day on October 14th. So stay tuned. It could get really fun and interesting here come home opener time. As we get going here as well, and I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but yeah, no, we are getting close to that home opener. That's the big thing. We are what 12 days away. That doesn't even seem real. I'm gonna go. Basically, we have Thanksgiving this weekend, and then the next weekend is the home opener. That is absolutely nutty. That's next level crazy, actually, because yeah, we're gonna be talking about all kinds of things when it comes to the home opener and how things actually fire up for the Edmonton Oilers to start this season. And Mark, which jersey did I get for the Heritage Classic? I got just a blank one. I guess I didn't outright answer that. Didn't get anyone on the back. I'm going to customize it once we get down to Rogers Place on October 14th. Jamie, you're new, but there's a noticeable difference. New in what sense and noticeable difference in what sense? I'm intrigued. I like the ... after the end. I appreciate it. Keep me intrigued, that's for sure. As we're getting going here in a few moments. Seattle Kraken intermission show is going to get things underway here in a few minutes, I'm sure, and then we should be good. It's 1-1 after 1 between the Oilers and Kraken. I did expect a low-scoring game to start the first period, so I'm not too upset with that. Just would have wished the Oilers would do a little bit better of a job. And right now, obviously, too, hopefully they do a better job here in the second period. Hello, kitty kitty. Who are you? Which one are you? Are you a boo? Come here, boo. Come here, boo. Where are you? Where are you? Looking for you. I'm looking for you, girl. Come on. Stop making me. Come on, boo. Come here. Come here. He wants to see you. I'm teasing him. There you go. Good boo. Good girl. Good girl. All right. There we go. We got the cat cuddling. We're good to go there. And, yeah, we're good. All right. So, Mark, I love it. I love it. All right, Craig as well. I've got the big flashy orange Dolynny TV there. Take the opportunity to go to a WHL game this season when the Medicine Hat Tigers are in town. Gavin McKenna is insane. He is Bedard's little cousin and is projected #1 overall in 2026. Yeah, what I'll tell you about Gavin McKenna is that's a name we've been hearing about probably 3 years now. And this is his first full season in the WHL. It's kind of one of those, yeah, Connor Bedard, Connor McDavid situations. And, yeah, I mean, Gavin McKenna is a big find for the Medicine Hat Tigers, who operate a pretty good WHL show. I know some former classmates that have worked with the Tigers over the years. So be interesting to see here what they do this year in the WHL again, right? With the Regina Pats, even though Bedard wasn't able to push them all the way, again shows one man doesn't make an entire hockey team. I don't think Connor McDavid ever really achieved anything insane with the Erie Otters either, with the help he had. All right, Simon. Super blow by the laughs again. Go Habs, go. No, I'm an Oilers fan. I'm not a Leafs fan. I'm an Oilers fan, as quoted by the jerseys behind me. Jacob. Less penalties, please, unless they want to train the penalty kill. That's the big thing. They might want to. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the case or not, but hopefully for the Oilers, they can figure it out and stop taking so many dumb penalties here early on in this hockey game, that's for sure. And second period, you're now midway in, so hopefully that's not the case anymore, and they're good to start playing some disciplined hockey here in this second frame. Yeah, everybody almost forgot about the cat. I've got two of them that often appear on screen. There's a third one that randomly does. I try to shoo him away because he's a real pest. He likes to break things. But no, it's my little Zap here. She's a good little girl. And yeah, two little itty bitty hitty kitty there. Missing obviously the S in front of hitty. Yeah, he's a good little kitty too. Three-legged guy. Yeah. That's where we're at here in the intermission. Not really much going on. Obviously, it's the Seattle Kraken feed, so there's not much to glean from it. Maybe if I paid attention, I could learn something about the Kraken, but who cares? It's the Seattle Kraken. I'm an Oilers fan. Here's what it is. And let's see what we got here. Yeah, I got the little old girl here. See, this one, she had a little health scare during the off season. She had to go into the vet for 5 days, and she came out skinny, scrawny, but in better health than ever, eh? You were the healthiest girl they've ever seen. Yeah, that's what they told me, at least, to make me feel better. Hey, love you. But yeah, that's where we're at. And INA, welcome in as well. Glad to have you aboard, as I'm trying not to get licked up by my cat. It's the, as I tell you, it's the mint shampoo I use, and obviously too, there's something in my facial wash for my beard that she really likes as well, but is what it is. Yeah, oh, she looks so cute, so close up. But yeah, no, it's a tough first period for the Oilers. I think obviously we all like to see better discipline. We'd like to see probably a little bit more intensity. I mean, that dry cell hit's nice and all, but it still gets called. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm expecting here in this first, second period, I guess you could say. But at the same rate, too, you gotta also believe they only have one NHL line out there tonight. That's tough. Yeah, sure, you've got Holloway, Janmark, and Ryan, but at best, that's a fourth line, not a second line. So keep that in mind as well. Mark, is the Oilers, new Oilers with the zone defense, winning or losing by 1 goal and way less goals against? Again, I really don't know if you're going to see way less goals against. I think you're probably going to see a 0.2 reduction in goals against. Kind of get towards that. If we were at 3.06 or something last year, I want to say, we're probably going to get closer to 2.85, somewhere in there. 2.85 would probably be my expectation for the Oilers this year, and then as well you keep those goals at about 3.5 goals per game, 3.8 goals per game. That could definitely make things a little bit more interesting when it comes to winning and losing hockey games, that's for sure. But again, I don't know what it's going to expect and how bad it could get exploited by mid-season too, right? So hey, now welcome in. As here's the other little guy. You coming? Come in, baby. Here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here. You want to come? Come here. Yeah, there we go. Here's the star of the show. It's the playoff buddy everybody loves to see. Come on, buddy. So complicated. He's getting pudgier and pudgier by the day. All right, here we go. Hey, buddy. Hi. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, there we go. We got him up here. Jamie, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Appreciate that. I appreciate that huge. And what do we got here? How do we map this out? I've never actually seen what that looks like in the new... What the heck? Never seen that at all, but I appreciate that very, very much. Yeah, there we go. Super chats and good to go. Awesome. So $2 on the board here this evening. I don't think I've run an ad either tonight. Totally been forgetting to do that, but you guys have been keeping me entertained, obviously keeping me on my toes in the chat, so that's been solid so far. And Jamie, really do appreciate it, as well as we've got John Forsland and JT Brown keeping us up to date on this Seattle Kraken broadcast, which Sportsnet Plus has available if you are a subscriber or subscribe to Sportsnet on your cable. If I could open up Sportsnet, because obviously I used it to log in to Sportsnet Plus. Let's go over here. NHL scoreboard. Oilers and Kraken tied 1-1 after 1. It's 4-4 between Winnipeg and Calgary after 2. Hopefully we don't see that happen. Xavier Bourgault getting his first goal of the preseason from Ben Gleason's first assist. Brad Malone for high sticking, Derek Ryan for holding, and Leon Draisaitl for charging in that first period. Shots 9-6 for the Kraken. Hits were 4-2 for the Kraken. So again, lackluster first period from both sides. 10-8 the face-offs for the Oilers. That's a positive. And realistically, there's not much else to really write home about. The Kraken have given away the puck one more time, and the Oilers taking it away one more time. There's really not much there. Again, Craig, to that question, how long does Ken Holland wait to pull the trigger on a trade if Jack Campbell just is not a good goaltender midway through the season? I think you pull it at about late January, early February, before the goaltending market heats up towards the trade deadline. And honestly, by then you should know what's happening with the Vancouver Canucks. And we heard Thatcher Demko come up in trade rumors last year. I would take him in a heartbeat. We had probably a half-hour discussion about it in the office at work today. So would be interesting to see if the Oilers would pitch a first round and a prospect over Vancouver's way to go complete the cup run and win it with Thatcher Demko in net alongside Stuart Skinner. Because, right, Vancouver an easy dumping ground in that scenario for Jack Campbell if they choose to go that route. All right, Dave Hackstall, pride of Drayton Valley, Alberta, on the bench right now. I believe he's actually from Warburg, if I'm not mistaken, but Drayton Valley claims him. Connor McDavid set to take the face-off. He'll win it back. Oilers to the possession first. They'll fire it into the Kraken zone. Backhanded there by Grubauer along the boards and out of play. And we will have a stoppage in play. So just like that, we're already back to action. That was not too long of an intermission, I don't think. I don't mind that at all. Now we should be ready to go here in a few moments' time. 9-6 the shots. Oilers goal, Xavier Bourgault. And Connor McDavid, Manny Beniers in the face-off dot. Both having an all-right night, you could say. McDavid wins it. Cody Ceci along the near side boards on the right wing this period. Draisaitl will work it along below the goal line. Draisaitl gets spun off the puck. Hyman battling there. McDavid going back to the point. Cody Ceci across. The shot comes in. Well, it's fired towards the net, but nothing major really happened there in this one. We'll go back to the point. Cody Ceci now crossed ice. The shot comes down low. McDavid looking to play this puck over top of the net. And the Kraken will fire it out of play. And it looks like possibly a penalty here against the Kraken if they're going to call it. But it looks like the referee might have signaled that it was touched before going on to play. Nope. Matty Beniers gets it for high stick and the puck out of play. But it's actually instead Riker Evans who batted it out of play. So Beniers will go to the bench, but he's going to hop over. And they're going to nail Riker Evans for the penalty here as they correct that at last. 19-19 to go here. Evans in the box now. He's chuckling with the NHL official about things here. And we should be good to go. This one's going to go 1-1. The score between the Kraken and the Oilers. 32.4% on the power play last season. Oilers win it right off the face-off. McDavid was charging ahead, couldn't do it. You see this Oilers power play right there. It is, as I figured, actually it's Gleason out there on the power play. Never mind, instead of Broberg, but it's the other usual suspects that we thought of earlier tonight. This one to the far side. Now back to Draisaitl for the one-timer. Tries to fire it off the far post and in, up over top of the net. Now Gleason chases back into the Oilers' end. 18:49 to go with $1:30 remaining in the Oilers' power play. Here comes Draisaitl down the right wing. He'll chip it back. Charging ahead, Connor McDavid. Cross the Kraken blue line. Plays it across the far side. Wrapping it around the boards. The Oilers to the near side boards along the face-off dot. Hyman spins and turns that puck over, and it's going to go back into the Oilers zone. That was starting to look good there for a moment. Now Draisaitl picks off the puck on the blind pass from the Kraken over the blue line. Here comes Connor McDavid to the front of the net. The pass never got through on the centering attempt. McDavid back to the point. This is going to go down low, and now over to Draisaitl. Face-off dot pass to McDavid. Played in front. The Oilers overpass the puck for the millionth time in the preseason. It's jamming free. McDavid trying to come up with it. Can't do it. 2-on-1 back the other way for the Seattle Kraken. Hyman hustling, trying to crowd it off. And he ultimately did. Crashing into the end boards and doing the job. Hustling back to seal off a Kraken opportunity on the shorthanded opportunity. Now Draisaitl under duress here from the Seattle Kraken player. He'll recover the puck behind Jack Campbell. 17.5 minutes to go in this second period of play. Draisaitl will lead ahead to the near side boards. This one's Xavier Bourgault playing this one here. And this goes back down into the Oilers' end with a 9-6 shot advantage for the Seattle Kraken. This one comes across and Broberg fires it down low. Broberg has the stick knocked right out of his hands. Not chopped, but poked. And the Kraken bust across the Oilers' line. The penalty now over to the Kraken. In behind, James Hamlin picks it up. And, well, this one will now be picked up by Cody Ceci. As, again, fired towards the net. On net, Jack Campbell makes the save. Oilers get going here. James Hamlin's going to lift out into the middle of the ice. Glove down at the Kraken blue line. Hamlin's to the attack right away with Raphael Lavoie doing his thing, but unable to come up with that puck. Like I said, he's just not able to win those battles that say, wow, this guy's on it. 16:33 to go here. That one tipped past the stick of Riker Evans at the blue line. He'll chase back into the Kraken zone. D to D it goes to Adam Larsson. Back to Evans. Now Evans leading ahead. He'll go up the boards. Picked up there by Adam Ernie. Now going D to D in the Oilers zone. They'll think about it, but they actually didn't as they tipped it ahead to the blue line of the Seattle Kraken right up the gut. Now to the near side boards in the Oilers zone. Kraken get the zone entry, but that's it. Turn back and picking ahead is Matthias Janmark. He'll pass it off. Shot fired up over top of the net. Goes near side corner. Janmark over to Ernie. Ernie's going to wheel and deal here as they continue to try and pressure. Janmark, Ernie, and Derek Ryan. Nothing happening there. 15:50 to go. Far side pass. Kraken enter the Oilers zone. This one skating around the blue line. Nice shot there. Ripped on net. Blocked again by the Oilers. Here they're going to load up and Adam Ernie's going to get to the attack. He'll flip it into the Kraken end out of the reach of Philip Grubauer. 15:29 to go in this second period of play. 9-1 to go, or 9-1, sorry, the shot department. Now an opportunity for the Kraken. Jordan Eberle roofs it out of play. That's tough. And that was a long sequence of hockey, I'll tell you that much. Connor McDavid's going to, on that power play, center it up, and then it just ties up in front of the net. Good play there by the Kraken to seal off the opportunity, and back the other way, the Kraken came to the attack. I guess 2-on-1 it was Adam Larsson, so that there is the problem as to why that pass never made it through. Shot fired by the Kraken, tipped up off the pads of Jack Campbell. It comes out of play, but actually stayed in for some reason. I thought it was out. Beniers has it tipped off his stick. The man that Stuart Skinner lost the Calder to. Now ahead, Seth Griffith to the backhand of Bourgault. Bourgault plays it in front, back over. Bourgault's not ready for it. He'll pick it up along the far side boards, tip it back down in behind. 1-1 the score. This one's going to go for the Oilers. Back the other way, tip played ahead. Across the line, here comes Beniers. He's going to look to make this puck play. He can't do it. Tipped in front by the Kraken and right on net. Jordan Eberle slams it into the crest of Jack Campbell a second time in this one. And, see what happens. The shot fired, nothing happened. Okay. Jordan Eberle, 20 goals, 43 assists, 63 points. 1-1 the score between the Oilers and Canucks with 14:34 to go. That one battling in front off the face-off. The Kraken can't ever really get anything done. Back to the blue line. Here's across to the far side. The shot fired down there by the Kraken into the face-off dot. The shot comes and save made. Jack Campbell. Flipper do welcome in. And this one's going to go back for Connor McDavid over to Draisaitl. Oh, what a pass from Draisaitl. Back to McDavid, who's skating through. The one-timer loading. Denied there on the backhand pass-off by Draisaitl by the Kraken. Desharnais now passing it over to Gleason. Draisaitl falling down, passing in front. The Oilers toying with the Kraken when it comes to having the top line on the ice. Draisaitl now along the far side boards. He's swallowed up there by Justin Schultz. This one back in the neutral zone for the Kraken, flipping it down near side. This will go in behind to Jack Campbell. Gleason will play this puck. He'll load up and play it ahead, where it comes now to the near side for, I believe, Matthias Janmark, who's going to get sealed off the puck, and that is it. That is all. As this one goes in along the boards, Adam Larson going to Kyler Yamamoto. 13:19 to go here in this second period of play. And that is picked up off the errant pass by Phil Kemp. Into the neutral zone. Here it comes. 2-on-1 developing. Derek Ryan over to Dylan. All the way backdoor tip. Could not put the puck home. Thought he had it. The Oilers close to taking too many men. Don't do it. Now Cam Dineen will throw a hit to tie up the man. This one forced out to center ice. The Kraken retreating into their own end. And, this is an interesting one here. As midway through this second period, we've had some chances, but nothing substantive from either team. Here, how about this? Shot fired in by Adam Ernie. Back around behind the net. Lavoie's forcing off a check back to the point, loading up Broberg. Over now to Cody Ceci. Ceci's going to play it down low, bounce it off the boards. It's going to be picked up by James Hamblin. Hamlin's going to see Raphael Lavoie throw a reverse hit. Nice little play there. And now with 12:09 to go, Philip Broberg retreats in the Oilers' near side corner. The Kraken come up with the puck. And like I said, that 9:30 time would start creeping up on me, and I'm getting a little tired, to be honest with you. It's been a long day of work. But Flipper do welcome in, and this is where we're at. As Dylan Holloway just flubs the backdoor tip-tap to put it home, but that would have been a beautiful little goal there for the Oilers if they could have done it. Man, thirsty tonight, I'll tell you that much. And is there anything else we're missing here? I don't think there is. No, there's nothing here. Ben Gleason is going to be the first call up on the blue line. I think we figured that tonight. And I don't think there's anything else we need to know here on Twitter so far this evening. No. Oh. Oy. Oh, there we go. Whew. Just needed a moment to breathe there. It's been a night. Okay, either way, we are looking at this. Is there anything we're missing here? Don't think so. The hits are really lackluster from both teams. Power plays, there's been 4 of them and only 1 goal. Yeah, no, there's not much else to really write home about in this game so far, so we'll just keep rolling along. I guess we could talk about the watch time, Alan, as we are on commercial break, that is for sure. Thanks to Jamie's donation there, we'll keep things commercial free, so might as well check the watch time. And of course, as soon as I say that, we go back live. Bowie turns 32 in troll years yesterday. And 3.9. How about that? We are looking at just over 190 hours on the stream so far tonight. Not a bad go. We should be closing in roughly on, well, I guess 200 hours here in the next minute or two. Here we go. This face-off back to the blue line. Shot fired, blocked there. Dylan Holloway fires it out to the middle of the ice. And now with 11:53 to go in this second period, puck comes to the near side boards. Shot fired in. Far side rim ends up on Dylan Holloway's stick. Near side corner now, as this puck just will not settle down for any team to really do anything substantial with it. Shot coming from the Kraken as they're whipping around the Oilers' end now. This one's loading up. They're instead going to play it down low again. Far side pass broken up by Janmark right onto the stick of the Kraken player. Thankfully, the Oilers lifted out to the middle of the ice. This one coming into the Oilers zone. Icing call there. 11:16 to go here in this second period. And friends, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go brew some hot water here next commercial break. And I'm going to get a coffee in me, and hopefully we can finish this whole dang thing off. Yeah, that's where we're at. As that one shot off the pads of Jack Campbell by Justin Schultz. Campbell now with 12 saves on 13 shots so far. Not a bad go. Oilers line up a weird face-off setup that almost got Phil Kemp a shot on goal. Good looking opportunity for him, and now the Oilers shaking through the defense as Connor McDavid can't load it up. Here's Cam Dineen loading it back to the far side point. That's Draisaitl. Down to the boards to Connor McDavid. Near side point to Dineen. Dineen will pick this puck up, bounce it off the boards to Connor McDavid. Back to the point. Here's Dineen. Shot fired. Blocked in front. Went wide. Whatever the case might be. Just didn't work for the Oilers that time. And it's worked ahead by Schwartz, who's, well, motoring into the Oilers zone. Didn't work out for him either. And there's Draisaitl playing it ahead to McDavid. McDavid's going to play it over to the far side to Cody Ceci. Ceci backhands it down low off the boards. Here's McDavid. Playing it middle of the ice, can't do it. The Kraken dive at it, poke it free. Broberg pokes it off the Kraken stick, but it looks like we have a penalty coming up against the Seattle Kraken. Yes, Cale Fleury will head to the box, and there you go, just like that. The Seattle Kraken have taken 2 penalties in this game, and things interestingly take a turn on that front. Okay. And, yeah, we'll need to get some water and some coffee going here tonight. Dustin, Seattle's going to win. Again, that don't really matter as long as Dylan Holloway, has a good game and Raphael Lavoie scores a goal. I'm good with that. This one now off the face-off for the Oilers. Dylan Holloway out there on the power play. He's battling for this puck. I feel like he gives it 110 sometimes when he doesn't need to. Shot fired, save made, Jack Campbell. This one has the Oilers scrambling around in their own zone. How about Holloway picking this puck up? They're loading up McDavid. Holloway's ushered to the front of the crowd. And this is going to be Connor McDavid loading up. McDavid's going to roll up the ice, play it off to Holloway. Holloway's going to play it across to McDavid. Tip pass back to the face-off dot to Draisaitl. Beautiful play there from McDavid. He'll bounce it off the boards. Draisaitl down to Cam Dineen, down to Connor McDavid. Dineen at the blue line. Back to McDavid across far side to Draisaitl. Back to the point. Dineen was offside. He's actually going to give up a chance against Beniers with the speed. Puts it off Campbell and then up over top of the net. The Oilers really giving up some chances here, shorthanded in 2 power play opportunities. Here's McDavid across over, wraparound opportunity, goes wide in front of the net, and that will now go in front to Adam Larsson. I saw number 6 for the Oilers. Ben Gleason. Gleason will load up and go across now to Xavier Bourgault. He's across the line. Xavier. I've been trying to say that properly all night and I've been failing. All right, this one. Down in behind the Oilers net. Gleason plays it niftily ahead to Lavoie. We got 21 seconds of power play time here and 8.5 remaining in this second period of play. Picked up ahead by Kailer Yamamoto across the Oilers line. Walking it in, shooting it out of the Seattle Kraken. They can't get it on net. Now this one again picked up by Ben Gleason. 5 seconds remaining in the power play. Nice little zone exit, I guess, for the Oilers, although they bobbled it last second, retreated, and turned the puck over. Shot fired in front. Jack Campbell, the denial. Beautiful pad save sliding across. 2 players go down. That's going to exit the zone for the Oilers. 8:08 to go here in this second period of play. E, you're still talking about that Connor McDavid play. Yeah. He looks as good as ever. This one's going to be shot down into the Oilers' territory. Kraken first team to the puck, but again, that 1-3. Oh my goodness, the ref just decked Derek Ryan. 100% shoulder to shoulder, laid him out. Cody Ceci 2-on-1 offside. Yikes. 7:43 to go here in this second period. And Cam Dineen got good stick on that initial Benier shot, and that might have been the difference. And yeah, Jack Campbell's on his game, Patrick, but the Oilers are at most not. So friends, if you are new to the channel right now, I'm going to ask you to consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm going to throw up the ad here right quick. If you'd be so kind, that'd be greatly appreciated. Love to come down to 12,700. I'll be right back here in a matter of moments. All right, friends, let's get back to action. My apologies. Just ran upstairs, refilled the water cup, and we're back to hockey just like that. Look at that. Good to go. Yeah, no, it's been a lackluster game from the Edmonton Oilers again. We should expect lackluster games here in the preseason. I think the Oilers obviously have a mission, and there's no effort in getting hurt in the preseason. But again, having to watch it as a fan is always painful. And again, the Oilers still scoring that 1.4 average goals here in the preseason through 5 games. So keep that in mind. 1-1 our score, 7:29 to go. Morley, welcome in as we've got this second period almost up and done with. Brad Malone's going to rim it around the near side boards in the Oilers zone, get it back to the Kraken, I guess. It's been the ugly part. Neither team's really had clean zone exits, and it's just been a tough one to watch. The Kraken taking the penalties this period, but the Oilers still not making them pay for it or anything. Another botched zone exit there from the Oilers. Kraken to the attack. Kemp's dragged down. Dineen tackles the man in the corner. Back to the point. The shot comes, tipped in front, up over top of the net. And the Oilers are just, not on it tonight as they again slam it off a stick. Again, what we knew is we had only 2 legit NHL lines and only 7 legit NHL forwards in the lineup tonight. So again, you're talking about almost half your forwards not being NHLers at all, or potentially for less than 5 games apiece this season. 1-1 the goals though, so again, it's not the worst game. Like obviously the Kraken have been stymied by Jack Campbell, so that's a good thing. The Kraken have 15 shots here, and I mean this one's just kind of bouncing around. And the play-by-play is fun and all, but again, it's kind of when you have a feeling of a game, and don't have much of a feeling for this one, to be honest with you, here tonight. We're rolling around. That was just an icing call against the Edmonton Oilers. We're going to have a face-off in the Oilers zone, I believe, with 6:06 to go here in this second period. Pull my phone out and set it down. James Hamlin, the wonder from Edmonton, Alberta, is going to get into the face-off dot here against the Kraken. The Oilers have 6 shots. 6 shots through 34 minutes of hockey. I remember a game in late 2006. And I mean, this was a pivotal game because the Oilers were looking to line up that final 8th seed in the Western Conference. Shot fired towards Jack Campbell as I'm interrupted. Campbell sprawls out, kicks it out. Astute save there from Jack Campbell as this one just comes bouncing off of the stick of the Oilers defender. Turnover in front by Ernie, and the shot fired right off the tape onto Jack Campbell, who scrambles and stops it. So that is where we're at. Interesting for sure as Jack Campbell makes a save. But yeah, as I said, I remember the game in 06 there, end of the season against Detroit. Probably like one of the last 5 games of the year. We're trying to battle for that final playoff spot, and we faced Detroit, and we got outshot in the first period 20-0. It was unreal. Like, it just sounded like Detroit was just pounding the crap out of us. I listened on the radio, and I mean, ugly, right? Ugly. And somehow, some way, the Oilers come out, and, well, guess what they did? They come out and beat Detroit in the first round. So, again, we're good. We're good, that's for sure. All right. Ty, Jack's positioning looks far, far better than ever. I think for Jack Campbell, it's just trusting that he is a good goalie, trusting that he does the things right, and trusting that he just needs to, as Mark says, be calm about it, relax, don't overthink it. Go out there and play your game, man. You're good. You know that. Do it. And I think he just, as I've seen some interviews, overthought it too much last year, stressed about it. And right, it's even happens when you and I are at work. We stress about doing something wrong, and all of a sudden we're doing everything wrong. Well, that's the way it goes, right? It's fair game. It happens to the best of us, and hopefully for Jack Campbell, it's behind him, and he goes out there and dominates. I mean, again, dominate as an Oilers goaltender isn't actually dominating as a goaltender, but you get where we're going. And Alan, when you had to race to touch the puck for an icing call, yeah, that was always something that was pretty dangerous, I think. And like, there was always guys getting banged up because of it, but at the same rate too, the NHL was a much different league back then. There were guys that were more or less, right, guys that were literally just around the NHL in case that happened. Yeah. 1-1 the shots, or 1-1 the goals so far. 16-6 the shots on goal for the Kraken. This one's going to go back into the Oilers' offensive possession. Batted down to Adam Larson. Connor McDavid checks his man there in Larson, and now this one's going to be battled along the boards. Nothing substantial happens for the Oilers, and back the other way. This one's going to work around for the Kraken into the Oilers' zone. Cody Ceci ties up along the boards. Jack Campbell sees that go past him, and the shot comes in from the point. Save made by Campbell. On top of it, makes the save. No bounce. 4:53 to go. And yeah, that's where we're at. Ace, think the Oilers' zone coverage is good to try since they just can't handle man-on-man. I don't think it's that they can't handle man-on-man. I think it's just that they don't have the right mix to do it, right? Like, I think they have some players that can handle it. It's just they don't have the right mix of players to handle it as a team, which is what you're saying there. This one, shot fired towards the near side and then off the boards there by Schultz, and Jack Campbell makes the save. 4:37 to go in the second period. Yeah, no, but I think the big thing is in terms of lack of offense in favor of defense, boring to watch. You got to remember how the 1-1-3 is meant to work is you're supposed to have your center or one of your wingers, whoever's your more reliable defensive player on that line, back there helping the defenseman retrieve pucks. You've got a high forward that's meant to dash or turn over the puck as the puck comes back towards your zone. And then you've got that middle forward just meant to kind of displace the play towards a certain side of the ice, in terms of either helping the dump in or in terms of kind of forcing the defenseman on your own team to step up and make the play. And realistically, as much as we've seen a lack of offense because of it to start the preseason, you got to remember that in any game, we're yet to ice 3 regular forward lines, and we're yet to ice 5 or 6 regular defensemen. So again, until I actually see the regulars enact the 1-1-3 in the zone coverage, I'm not going to go out there and say much about what ends up coming of this 1-1-3 here early in the preseason, because it's way too early to judge if the defensive zone structure and the neutral zone transition structure is actually going to translate to anything negative for the Edmonton Oilers. Again, though, I wish I had something more exciting to watch. We're talking about zone coverage and 1-1-3s as opposed to an exciting hockey game where maybe the Oilers had some offense. I get that part. It's been a brutal preseason. I'm right there with you, Mark. All right, this one played along the near side boards, back in behind. The Kraken will pick it up off the face-off in their own zone. And, well, that's Adam Ernie winning a puck there. Cody Ceci activating, as he sometimes does. Connor McDavid taking about a minute and 2 seconds per shift so far this game. 1 shot on goal, so even Connor McDavid's got nothing going. And you can't blame any kind of defensive or neutral zone transition coverage or anything you want. That's just, the boys aren't firing. Raphael Lavoie will come towards the middle of the ice here on the bounce off the boards. He's going to spin around the defender, gets the arm up, and the Kraken have taken their penalty here. So that's their third of the game. The Oilers have 3, and just like that, Kraken take 3 in the second. Oilers took 3 in the first. And that's where you're at so far. Cooper, who do we think is winning? Honestly, this struggle squad right now from both teams, unless the Oilers cash this power play, I could see another overtime game here for the Oilers. And big, watching on sportsnet.ca. Log in there with your cable provider if you're in Canada, in the Oilers region, and you should be able to watch. 2:53 to go here in this one. As the Oilers power play gets to work, Dylan Holloway wins the puck off the face-off. Far side pass to McDavid. Gleason loads up Draisaitl's one-timer right into the midsection of Philip Grubauer, and we have a stoppage in play just like that. So there you go. The Oilers loading up the one-timer for Draisaitl, and he's gotten a shot on net now, but still nothing to prove for it so far. And clumsy, yeah, this is a preseason game if you ever seen one. Again, the big boys aren't really going out there and trying to win this game for you, but at the same rate, too, the Oilers need some heroes at some point. Here we go. This one works to the far side. Karche picks it up, and now he's got Wenberg. Karche fires the shot, denied by Jack Campbell. That'll load up the Oilers' power play back the other way. Here comes Ben Gleason, dumping it off to Connor McDavid. He's going to shimmy shake at the blue line. Gets across, Holloway comes in. He'll spin back to the blue line to Gleason. Now the shot, loading. Now thinking better of it. Near side pass to the boards for Draisaitl. Draisaitl looking to make a play of it. He's going to go across far side, blocked there. He's going to spin around back to the point. Now Gleason looking to load up this shot. He's going to go fire it down. This one's McDavid playing it ahead. Draisaitl up over top of the net. Holloway picks this one up. Bats it there to Draisaitl. Draisaitl looking up off of somebody in front. McDavid gets bumped. 1-1 the score. 21 shots now for the Kraken. Tipped in front there by Hyman. He ties up with Grubauer. Nothing happening there, and with 39 seconds to go on the power play, the puck is cleared down the ice. Campbell plays this one here. Get back to the chat for a second here. Jamie, yeah, that's where we're at. It's been an interesting change here for the Oilers with zone systems and stuff, but obviously I think allowing less goals, I'll take one less goal a game if we're allowing 2 less goals a game, that's for sure. Gillis TV, welcome in. And good to see you in the chat, buddy. Simon, Marks are 10 so far. Here's the problem. You're tied 1-1 despite having 9 shots through 2 periods. And secondarily to that, the Kraken have been all over you. And you just have not looked sharp. It's honestly a 5, being that it's a preseason game and you're just hanging in there doing your thing. But it's a realistic... Here's Lavoie. Lavoie, the shot blocked. Of course it is. Should have known. But again, it's a preseason game, so the expectation should be lower. So there you go. That's how I end up at a 5. Honestly, right? If it's a 30% effort and you're tied, it must be a 50-50 game. Jacob, so far, yeah. Campbell saying no to more goals for Seattle. That's been huge. Here's Desharnais firing a shot over to the near side. That was off the stick of Cody Ceci. Looks like Desharnais taking a penalty, and... to the box we go. 10.2 seconds to go here in this second period of play for the Edmonton Oilers and Seattle Kraken. As this one, Desharnais tangles up with Wenberg, just kind of rides the hip into him, tries to fall himself, but stays on his legs, and that will take the call, and that will do it for Desharnais, who draws the penalty as well. All right, let's go here. And let me see if we can just take a quick gander at the watch time before we head into intermission here. And how about that? 226 hours. Don't mind me. As this is going to be Jordan Everly working it down low. Battling. Broberg. CC. Clock expires. We're good. We survive. And only Campbell so far tonight. Yeah, Campbell's been on his stuff and he's been doing his thing. So... friends, to be honest with you, I'm really not sure what I'm doing here, but I think I'm going to head on out, to be honest with you, just to get up and get going in the morning. I knew an 8 o'clock start was going to be a long time. Big year for Soup, Mikey V. Well, I'm hoping. That's what we've been chatting up tonight. Is I think consensus is we expect Jack Campbell to have a rebound, whether it be because, hey, he's due, or whether, hey, he needs to. There's 2 options. It's either he's due or he needs to, and I think we've kind of come to that conclusion here tonight. As Mark, yeah, I know it's nice to see Jack Campbell doing his thing, but friends, honestly, yeah, I want to see this one through, but I got no go-go juice left at this point, and before I drink enough water to stay up all night having to make the trip upstairs to go to the bathroom 5 times, I think I'm gonna call her and get her done. Yeah, no, I'm not necessarily quitting. I'm just there's not much left to gain at this point out of this one. That said, Dylan Holloway goes on to score a hat trick. Raphael Lavoie gets 3 assists, and bing bang boom, the kids look good. I know how this one goes, but folks, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with me. This one's been dry. I mean, we've had some dry preseason games, but hopefully things work out here for the Oilers at the end of the thing, and we go on to win this one, and there's something to write home about. I'll probably sit down here and watch the game for the rest of it, but really, yeah, there's not much left to achieve in this one, so we're gonna rock and roll, go get a bite to eat before going to bed, and we'll call it a night. Thanks, friends. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I am up on